Hey, Soda Bob. Good morning. What's up, Japarka? Yeah, I actually have a good morning. My mom got this e-bike, whatever, the other day, so I put it together yesterday and I rode it around this morning. Super fun. What's up, second base? I think I rode like 22 miles this morning. Of course, didn't even break a sweat because it's an e-bike. Super fun, though. Turns out there's lots of good, like, paved bike trails around here. Like, I could go all the way to Sacramento pretty easily. And it's like along this river, so it's like all flat. It's just like a flat paved route that follows the river. Super scenic. It's gonna be like 90 or something, but I went out to like 7, so it was like 7 a.m., so it was like in the 60s, so it was like super nice. It was in the 60s, but it was like really sunny, so it was like, it was totally nice. Yeah, it was perfect, basically. It's ridiculous. I can't believe I can do that all the time now. It's like, holy shit. E-bikes rule. No wonder, like, adults are so mad that kids have e-bikes, whatever. Like, I'm so pissed at kids saying, all these kids with e-bikes causing problems. Like, you're just jealous. Just admit it. We didn't have these. What's up, Mr. Rip? And Darkwood, good to see you guys. I'm totally jealous. I can't believe I didn't have these when I was a kid. It sucks. These rule. It's like, what the fuck? Like, now when you first drive, you're not even gonna really care as much when you're a kid. It's like, alright, so I can do the same shit I can already do on my e-bike, because I go a little bit further and, you know, take other people around. Big whoop. 18, I mean, this is nothing. I just told you I rode 23 miles, no, not even a problem. It was like, I could have gone further, but I had to come back, so I was like, I gotta do the stream. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, so I'm like pretty upset about this. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Alright.
その瞳はいつも僕を見つめていて、眼差しは熱くて真っ黒な雨雲を突き抜けて。
Let's see. So this takes place as it branches off in chapter 3. Got a way to go here. It doesn't branch off chapter 3. They go into it in chapter 3. Have I done yes for this? I have done a yes for this.
その瞳はいつも僕を見つめていて、眼差しは熱くて真っ黒な雨雲を突き抜けて。
So this takes place as it branches off in chapter 3. Got a way to go here. It doesn't branch off chapter 3. They go into it in chapter 3. So I have done a yes for this. Too many whiskey sours in 420. Yeah, that'll do it. What? Oh my god, does that actually change something? Maybe I've actually already done that one too. Supposedly the answers you do there change. Well, I know it does. We saw it change the way that one girl looked. That was the most important thing, yeah. There's one girl, like, one time she showed up in, like, her bra and panties. Another time we saw her, she was in the schoolgirl swimsuit. That's clearly done, like, with what choices I used there. And then, one time, Hazuki had glasses, and one time she didn't. We do neutral everything. We've done everything now. It was the quickest. Oh. I want to do this, right? Was I doing neutral there? Is that why? Branch off here. Yes, the answer can't be the same one again and again. Alright, so we got a ways to go here to get to chapter 3. Then we gotta get the part where branches off. I don't see anything new until chapter 3. What's up, GS Dot? Yeah, it's gonna be kind of odd for a second here, trying to get to the new ending. But don't worry, the endings are so long. It's like, you don't really have to know about going to the game practically, because endings, what I've done so far has been like 3 hours long, or 2 or 3 hours long. It's like, oh my god. And the last one was brutal. There's 2 of them that have been really brutal. This is a super intense game. Yeah, I like kind of take back that I really shouldn't have played this one, because it's kind of making, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, you're definitely not supposed to read this game out loud. That's for sure, because it's crazy. Because it's not going crazy. If your stream streak, nice. I bet most people lose the stream streaks when, like, my internet dies or whatever, or something, or I have to reset the stream. So then just split it into, like, 2 streams. You're, like, screwed. These endings are really depressing, too. The last one last game I just did one ending, I was like, okay, I'm not playing anymore after this. Yeah, it's always crazy. It's super intense, this game. Definitely not as chaos, or I mean, Steins Gate was like fun. It had depressing parts. It had also had a lot of endings, but it was only like, first off, there wasn't like 9 or whatever. There's only like 4, and then endings were depressing, but assuming this is going to be like that one, that it couldn't though. The problem is it's been so depressing that no matter how good the ending is, it's not going to counteract like how depressing the endings were. In Steins Gate, the ending was so happy, and that it kind of made the endings, like, the bad endings worth it, because like, oh, it actually ends up good, even though it's so upsetting. Super unique, yeah. Definitely interesting story for sure. Kind of work this whole MMORPG thing and stuff into it. Kind of different ways of storytelling with it and things. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but the story's brutal though. It's the main problem. And like in Steins Gate, you kind of liked Byoin, whatever his name was. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Hyoin? Whatever his name was. He was much more likable. Oh god, everything. No! Do you really read those? Yeah. Five-star, I thought it was 11:30, but I'm not sure though. Yeah, I thought it was like 12 a.m., so is there like a pre-show thing or something? I haven't technically ordered it yet. Yes. Yeah, just make sure. I mean, there's Tokyo Joshi Pro right before it, right?
Ne.
Boy. Yeah, we'll watch it on there. Yeah, it's too much stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle it's like meta to do. Still can't go out and play my rhythm game. 2 events in a row. Yeah, serious problem. I mean, they're both kind of major. Oh. That. Oh, shit. It's quick. Much faster than I thought it was going to be. The Senna route. Questions here. I'll go you more. Oh my god, yes. With this girl, I'm going to get down my his peg with all my heart and soul. A little ridiculous. It's a good choice. I prefer being stepped on. I have to get the little sword play, if you know what I mean. What does that mean? Ooh, that sword either way. No! Yay! Wait a minute. Does she have a penis? Is that what that means? What's going on here? I know. Alright, now when does this thing break off, actually? There could be other stuff before. Usually, but there's always other things before they actually breaks off. Breaks off in chapter 7. Which is very close to the end. Anything is possible in this game. Yeah, we haven't gone down that road. Well, actually, you did mention that once. Actually, I already have gone down that road. Asuka's going to TNA? Oh, no. Wait, which Asuka? One from WWE? A fake D sword. It's that Ryogoku Kokugikan, right? That one's going to TNA? Wow. Be crazy. I want to know where they. I want to go where they saw Okada and said, "Let's make him Okado." Those guys definitely know what they're doing. Back eventually, huh? I putting that arcade together. That was pretty cool. So glad I've done everything. Watched WWE before. I only watched the pay-per-views, really. Everyone, like maybe one Raw or SmackDown, one or the other each week. Shogun. Nice. CAD UK, good job. Restreams. Chapter 4. Yeah, it's kind of like free channel points. You used a bet. And most likely lose.
Yes.
10K on Friday, man. It is. Break off here though, right? Extra stuff here? Oh. Good Pete and CCQ wrestling. Oh, here we go. Solitary train car stood stock still near Shibuya Station. It was a car that would open to the public, and he referred to it as the Green Frog. Then I always sat inside of it. And your thumbnail, she looked outside the window and watched the passerby with disinterest. Passers-by, oh jeez. She and Takumi had spoken at length yesterday on this very train. Today, she'd come here once again. She hadn't gone to school. Attendance was the least of her worries. Constantly driven by feelings of impatience. As a result, she would often get very irritated with others, leading to a fairly harsh behavior toward them.
どこにいる畑野
Hatred, all of it directed towards a single individual, like a hand into her uniform pocket and took out a piece of paper. Sapoli, it's that freaking formula! No! That Takumi wrote when he was a kid. Apparently just randomly wrote this down and it was like the formula to end the world or something. It's like a very strange storyline. Small crumpled scrap of paper torn from a memo pad. That was something resembling an algebraic formula. Faded and dull, perhaps due to aging, or perhaps because it had been written in pencil. But it remained legible, and that was the LR2. Remains of Senna's father from long ago. Needless to say, she had not exactly treated it like a holy artifact. Instead, she kept it close, so she'd always remember the hatred she held for her father. It was a happy one. Once a happy one. Where the moment her father had scrawled a certain formula onto this piece of paper, slowly, silently, yet certainly, madness began to envelop everything. His father had once been a corporate scientist. Then just been an elementary school student at the time. She did not understand the type of work her father did. She was always busy. He was rarely home. Occasionally he would come home and show his affectionate side that almost never lasted even a day. He'd be back to work before anyone knew it. Not that she disliked her father, but she was a little disappointed to find out that she could not even think of a single time her family had ever sat down for a meal together. Then came a day about 6.5 years ago when her father returned home from work. Like his usual calm and collected self, it brimmed me with excitement.
セナ、父さんはすごい発見をしたぞ。これはノーベル賞どころの騒ぎじゃない。
何がそんなにすごいの？
この公式はこれまでの世界の仕組みをも変えるだろう。それほどの大発見なんだ。
He spoke, he held in a memo pad before Senna's eyes. Written out was the LR2 equation.
ずっと探していたんだよ。父さんではどうしても思いつけなかった。プロジェクトノアは停滞していた。手詰まりだった。だが、この方式があれば、計画は次の段階に進めるんだ。まさかあんなところで見つけるなんて思いもしなかったよ。これはまさに信仰の救いだね。
Uh-oh. Cultist.
東京駅だ。たまたま通りかかったんだ。本当に偶然だった。セナは東京駅に行ったことはあったかな。やたら広いだろあの駅の構内は。
Oh. I didn't see the time. I remember it was on Friday, or was it on the 30th? Was it on Friday? Again. Oh. I'll get to it. Logged in, right? Oh, why not? Why, there it is. Sunday, 8 p.m. Wait a minute. I can't do that. Oh, it's Sunday after All In. Oh, so I won't be streaming that time. Okay, then I can do it. Otherwise, it'd be in the middle of my stream. Is it during, Yeah, I always stream on Sunday nights from, what is it? 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. So, yeah, if you can do a little bit earlier, I guess, but that might be hard for other people, though. I could do it in the middle of the stream. Be kind of weird. Is it the daylight savings one or not? That's another issue here. I can't quite tell exactly which one it is. It sucks when it's only an hour off like that.
その校内の一角にたくさんの作文が展示されていたんだ。文部省の全国なんとか作文コンクールとか、そんな名前の展覧会。
When does All In end? I can't tell if I'm going to be streaming that day anyways. gonna go to 4 p.m. Guess I could stream after it, man. I don't know if I might not stream that day because that's kind of insane to do a stream right after it. Jesus, it's only a week away too. I should figure this out. Usually I wouldn't, but yeah, it starts super early though because it's in the UK.
優秀な子供たちの作文が飾っ
Oops,
て
I
あっ
missed
て
this
ね。
line there. Oh, so he found it just because of the essay that Kumi wrote.
セナ知ってるかい？もしかして応募したりしたかい？
わかんない。多分知らない。
セナが出れば、きっとセナも優秀作品に選ばれていたんじゃないかな。
そんなことないよ。私、作文は苦手。
そうか？もっと自信を持つべきだと思うがな。
ねえ、作文がすごい大発見だったんだ。
いやー、違う。そうじゃないんだ。作文なんてどうでもいいんだよ。重要だったのは、その裏に書かれていた落書きなんだ。
It's a random scribbling on the back page. Why would they reprint that in the station?
そこに飾られていた作文は、透明のプラスチックの額に収められていてね。
It's in a clear plastic
裏
display so
側
you
も
can see
見
the
ること
back.
ができた。
Friday at that time I could definitely do, or Saturday, yeah. Yeah, Saturday I could definitely do. Friday that time, yeah, it'd be far enough before Lucha. Yeah, either Friday or Saturday I could do for sure.
それは多分、演出とかそういうものじゃない。たまたま透明なだけだったんだろうね。
There's a chance I won't stream on Sunday, just because I mean, there's nothing to really. Well, this is not this Sunday we're talking about. This is next Sunday. There might not be that much to do, and it's gonna be right after All In, so it's kind of insane to do. Like, that's gonna be a long show. You just do a shorter stream, I guess.
きっと主催者には作文の裏の落書きを見せようなんて気はなかったはずなんだ。
Why did they bring the actual essay and put it in a clear case? This is bizarre. Never seen a children's essay contest that actually. Here's the actual thing itself, like it's some artifact.
だからこの公式を父さんが見る確率は、それこそ天文学的数字だったわけさ。これが奇跡というやつなのかな。
Yeah, I don't have preseason Raiders lost than one.
公式っていうことは算数なんだね。
ああ、そうだよ。すごく難しい算数だ。
1 to the 10th power.
算数で世界を変えられちゃったりするのかな。
Oh wait, it's integral. Integral UN to the 10th power? I don't know what it is.
ああ、変えられるよ。父さんの研究はね、世界を変えることなんだ。
ほんと？信じられないな。
いつか証明してあげるよ。見ていてくれ、セナ。
Yeah, we'll see. Have a good look at fantasy football. Over 6.5 years since that day. And her teeth together, Senna shoved the paper back in her pocket. Gazed through the window, her eyes focused on the dull sky above. Doubtedly knew the world would change soon. Just as her father had said, his own world had already undergone many drastic changes. Wildness, havoc. Where he looked, he'd find more. And it had become an unfathomably hideous place.
そんな世界は作らせない。奴を殺して私が止めてやる。
Back to the story. Back together this fight with Yua. Yes. Tunnel. 2 FESs. that come later. One uniform this time. One Ban. Video of the group dive. 5. Throw up sound. It's there. Could be another part because we meet Senna again soon. Dan Marino, nice. What? After that scene where she kills everyone? Get to the phone and the severed hand. Oh, supposed to be. Yeah, you can't really change teams. Like, it's kind of... If you can, it's like, I don't know if you're really a real fan of that team then. I mean... I can't imagine switching the teams like to another one. It's like, well, what about the team that I just liked so much and went on, you know, had season tickets to and everything. It's like, I can't just like switch to another one all of a sudden. I'm always gonna care about what the team does. Yeah, it's like, I mean, if you're not really into it, then it makes sense. When I lived in Seattle, I was a little kid. I moved to California. I mean, sure, I moved from the Seahawks and Mariners to like the Raiders and the A's. But I mean, I wasn't that into them back then, though. Like, you know, I watched them on TV a little bit, but I wasn't like super into them or into watching sports as much because we're just more into playing them back then. Yeah, you just watch less. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, if you're really in your team, it's like, it's kind of weird. It really is just, it changes your whole outlook on everything in the league, whatever league, because it's like, you know, so you could totally hate some player or whatever, then all of a sudden you know, he's on your team, he's wearing your team's colors, like, oh, now he's great. He was never bad. It's like, it's all... Although usually when they leave your team, you still like them, even though another team, like, oh, he was cool once, he's cool now, but... Tampa, Orlando, oh, the Dolphins, nice. Orlando, tragic. That's where it breaks off? Kinda again. Gotta come soon. Oh, not the severed hand. Damn, the severed hand. Don't look at the box. Don't look in the box. Oh! Tragic. What's up, Andy? Before I gotta get that sword, right? The sword. A sword. Definitely saw a sword. No. Too big. Let's see from here for some reason. The weird part. Actually. Get it. You Darth Spider, was that chapter 7? Here we go. That's cute. Glasses. Dookie. Where is this? Maybe after the earthquake? It is. I gotta say, Senna's gonna be the one to save me. Guys beat you up. Feel. B. There's a B. I think it's funny. Let's beat Senna again. Where branches off? Funny part? Wait, no. I guess it has a sword at the supermarket, whatever this is. Take off here? It's got to, right? Last time you see her. So the earthquake thing. Oh. No, I guess not. Chapter 7? Oh. This is it, the 7th case. What's going on? Happening at... Wait, we had read this before. Another new gen. I was tempting to go on for. Was I next? Would I be the victim of the 8th case, the 9th? Pretty much the new gen guy at this point. Keeping the loop about basically everything. Even I was going out of his way to talk about a bunch of blog posts and news articles about it. Seemed like it really wanted me to take a look. I reluctantly clicked the first link. Dokyun puzzle. I've seen this before. So where's it switch here? Stuff. Cut 3 guys in half, then put them together. Back weird.
今日午前4時50分ごろ、東京都渋谷区の線路沿いで男性3人の他殺死体が鉄柱に吊り下げられているのを通りかかった新聞販売員の男性が発見しました。警察の調べによりますと、殺されたのはいずれも渋谷区に住む無職藤田康平さん、大学生の安沢三郎さん、とび職の高木亮さんの3人です。3人とも胴体の部分が切断され、それぞれの上半身と下半身が別々に入れ替えられて糸で縫合されていました。3人の額にはそれぞれ謎の傷がつけられており、警察では犯人からのメッセージではないかとみて調べています。渋谷では2ヶ月ほど前から猟奇殺人事件が頻発しており、警察では今回の事件も同一犯による犯行の可能性が高いとみて捜査を続けています。
In the news clip, photographs of the 3 victims were shown. I'd seen those faces before.
あいつらだ。昨日僕に絡んできた。
Giving them my wallet, but they kicked my ass anyway. Then fell unconscious. When I woke up, Kozubi was beside me. 3 of them had collapsed on the ground covered in blood. I took my wallet out of my pocket, stared at it intently. I came to, Kozubi had been carrying it. She gave it to me soon after. The person who killed those 3 be... No, definitely not. Last time I'd seen them, they had been beaten to a pulp and covered in blood, but they hadn't been cut in half or anything. Do you mean they were killed after Kozubi and I had left? Must have been Shogun. I think that really asshole trying to provoke me. Damn, he really was committed to me, driving me insane. Just how far was he willing to go? I wanted to vomit. I clutched my stomach and it churned in pain. Was I next? Will I be the next to die? It's possible that Shogun could show up in person again. He seemed to be playing with me like it was some kind of game, after all. Maybe he felt like sending me on a quest, another quest soon. Just the thought alone terrified me. I tried to grasp my D-sword, but even that was just to protect myself from him. Without that sword, how could I hope to escape his evil clutches? Like he was holding the knife straight to my throat. Like he was saying, I can kill you whenever I please. Please just let me go. What I done deserve this. Can't take it anymore. Someone save me. Okay, here we go. Rimu was supposed to protect me. Here we go. You could see Rimu wasn't there. She was never there to begin with. I'd find someone else. First person to come to mind was... Senna.
お前が望むと望まないとにかかわらず、もしこれ以上踏み込んでくるような、負を正にするぐらいの強い意識を持つんだな。
The Monday after that, you mean? After Sunday? What do you mean, like this Monday? Or the one coming up soon? Yeah, the one after Sunday is fine, yeah. After all, yeah. That's totally cool.
中途半端な気持ちじゃ妄想に食わ
This
れ
is
る
for
だけ
fantasy football. You want to join our league? Or John Parker's league? There's a lot of people from the channel in it. I think it sounds like her path's gonna be tough. Alright, cool. And Aoi, yesterday when the two of us got our separate ways, she'd give me that piece of advice. I knew something. She also had a D-sword. She seemed strong, too. She'd be my savior? Thought I was doomed. Draft Mahomes, yeah. What do you suggest we draft, Dave?
Patrick Mahomes.
Say it so fast.
Patrick Mahomes.
Why do you say no with that weird accent?
Patrick Mahomes.
Irish?
Mahomes.
Why do I have so many recordings of him saying it wrong? Following day, I made my way to the front of the station. In all honesty, I don't want to go back there. After all that traumatic Esper BS, the front of the Shibuya station brought back nothing but bad memories. Adding to my stress, just like usual, there were way too many people. Right around Hachiko was absolutely infested with normies loitering around. Everyone kept glancing at me and sneering as they pointed their phones at me. I turned around to look away. My eyes wandered up toward the towering O-front. The very building where I'd committed social suicide only a few days ago. Videos covering every angle of that night continued to make the rounds on the internet. Would likely continue to spread across the world for all eternity. Erasing them was pretty much impossible at this point. I spent the rest of my life as the internet's favorite punchline. So frustrated, angry, and sad, I didn't want to get as far from him as I possibly could. But knowing Shogun would kill me the second I tried to escape, I was forced to painstakingly stand my ground. I cautiously stepped foot in the train carriage known as the Green Frog. I tried my hardest to avoid looking at my surroundings. Surprisingly, there she sat, Senna Aoi, train's sole passenger. It took me a minute, but I realized the reason why no one else was in the car was likely due to Senna's own handiwork. Use her gigalomaniac powers, whatever they were.
お前か。エラーを見つけたのか。
Shaking my head lightly, I handed her the crunchy kun I brought in advance from the local convenience store. It's my way of getting foot in the door. Here, no sandwich, but I hope you like it. Oh no, please don't worry about it, thank you very much. That's how it would go, and according to my stupid-ass Japanese custom. At least by some to the winner. But even though I knew it was idiotic, not even I would stoop as far as those to ask for protection without giving something in return. Even for our services. You have a 3 crunchy. Yeah, I can give a prize away for the winner. I have some extra stuff that I haven't given away yet. You can get that shirt. How who it was. Damn it, what's his name? We don't see him anymore. Ah! Damn it. I have some wrestling related merchandise still. What was his name? Dr. Wagner. I have a Dr. Wagner shirt. Yeah. It took me long to remember his name. Figure for her services, I would give her 3 crunchy coons a day. It was not for even Senna couldn't refuse.
くれるのか。ありがとう。
He accepted with surprising little resistance. I don't know if he's still. I haven't seen him. Everything was going to. We would be in AAA. We haven't seen him in AAA though. Everything was according to plan.
西条は何味が好きだ。私は断然ソーダ味だな。
Oh no. The next time they tore open the wrapping and took out the popsicle. That imaged my imagination, but almost looked like her mouth had curved into a slight smile. And just how obsessed with those things are you? You're practically asking for a stomachache.
僕はコーラ味。
Ora.
なんだと。コーラ味なんて邪道だ。ふざけるな。
Oh no.
すいません。
Made her mad. She likes soda and I got cola, and she's pissed. What about telling her off, getting upset over something so trivial? I figured I'd keep my mouth shut.
それで
Taking a bite out of her crunchy coon, then I shifted her probing gaze to me.
私に何か用か。
Ugh, why did she have to be so intimidating? Look in her eyes could turn me to stone. I wanted to ask for help, but I felt like the sheer anxiety alone was going to kill me. It's already bad enough talking to 3 girls as it is. I took a few deep breaths and just barely managed to calm myself down.
僕を助けてほしい。
どういう意味だ。
僕はニュージェネの真犯人に、狙われてる。
No,
この前話したでしょ。将軍っていうやつなんだ。
not good with 3D girls, Takumi.
僕はきっとそいつに思考盗撮されてる。
思考盗撮か。そいつ何者だ。
Nice.
知るもんか。僕が聞きたいぐらいだ。
この渋谷で思考盗撮できる連中なんて限られてる。ギガロマニアックスか、あるいは望みの連中か。
He's a gigalomaniac, exactly.
のぞみ。
望みテクノロジープロジェクトノアによって世界を手に入れようとしてる。
Making Project Noah. What was she on about? It sounded like some big kind of conspiracy theory. But could Shogun be a member of that organization?
僕を助けてよ。頼むよ。
Myself rapidly sinking further in despair. I wanted something, anything to cling on to. Something that would save me. Then took another bite of her crunchy coon and furrowed her brow.
言ったはずだ。中途半端な気持ちで踏み込むなら
Hanpa.
妄想に食われると。
Half-ass.
お前には覚悟があるか。
ないよ。あるわけないだろ。僕がただ助けてくれって言ってるんだ。こんなのもううんざりなんだ。なんで僕ばっかり。
Lapped off all my willpower, I fell to my knees. Don't do this to me. Just protect me. What do you want me to do? I don't want to do anything anymore.
覚悟はなしか。
Cold glare pierced through me. Well, I could clearly tell just how pathetic I was being. All I could do at the point was hang my head in shame.
だがその将軍というやつは気になるな。もし望みの人間ならニュージェネ事件も連中が起こしてるということか。だとしたらそれを捨ておくわけには。
With a frown, Lena muttered that to herself as she looked out the window. She seemed to be deep in thought, but she kept chewing on her crunchy coon regardless.
の
Not long after I said something, Senna suddenly got up from her seat, now standing in front of me.
私に守ってほしいのか。
Damn it, she's looking down on me. This bitch of a dominatrix fetish or something. Quite insulting her inside my head, I gave her a meek nod.
それはつまり私とお前はこれから行動を共にするという意味だ。それでもいいんだな。
As long as you protect me, anything's fine. Protecting myself from Shogun's attacks is my highest priority right now.
本当に守ってくれるなら 文句は言わない。
決まりだ。
And extended her hand toward me. Stared blankly at those delicate fingers of hers. Unsure what they were trying to convey. Growing impatient, Senna grabbed my hand and pulled me up. Our eyes met, if only for an instant. Having our gazes intertwined at such a short distance made me frantically avert my eyes, and let go of my hand.
じゃあ行くぞ。
Then, as if to spur me onward, turned her back to me.
行くってどこへ？
のぞみテクノロジーの本社だ。
What?
はぁ？
When they're right now?
これから乗り込む。
The hell? Infiltrate? Like into the enemy base? I don't know. What? What was the stupid bitch thinking? Does she have a death wish? Well, this is game over. God, I was such an idiot for thinking I could rely on her. Hell, I was going to go anywhere near there. I want nothing to do with this. I wasn't the kind of person to just waltz right into my death. I was the type of person who would tell them, wow, that plan fucking sucks, and then ditch them. You know my look of disbelief. Then I strolled briskly out the door. However, I meanwhile stayed right where I was, refusing to budge an inch. Suddenly, I realized I could no longer move my arms. I glanced down my body. If I could even blink, a white chain had curled around my body, and on top of that, wrapped around me very, very tight. Even when I tried to force it off, it refused to budge an inch. What the, how did this even happen?
ぐずぐずするな。
Then I poked out at the window and urged me to come quickly. While the chain wrapped around my body being tugged, I tried to resist, but I no longer had full control of my body. The chain led outside the train carriage and ended where it reached Senna's hand. I was holding it. She was the one pulling me. This is what a queen and slave exhibition simulation roleplay was like. Seemed legit? Wait, no, it was nothing like that. What the fuck? Just how I comment on fan. Oh, god damn it. There's an idiot if I think I can rely on Senna. Really picked the wrong person for this. Someone help me, I can't take this anymore. Zomi's main branch was apparently within walking distance of Shibuya Station, but my mental strength had already gone completely drained before we even reached it. After all, Senna had been parading me around right smack in the middle of Shibuya. It went without saying that practically every cell phone in existence had been pointed at me. With that, my dark past had grown even darker. Definitely a thread about it on an @channel by now. As per Nishijo, indulging in puppy play with black-haired Butte in Shibuya. Ugh, the Dokyun was never going to let me hear the end of this. No matter how much I pleaded with Senna, she refused to remove the chains.
今のお前にとって必要なのは目立つことだ。今のところ、その目的は達成されてるだろ。
Just constantly spouting all sorts of nonsensical reasoning like that. Seriously, what kind of bullshit logic was that? Anzai sensei, I want to be a man who stands out from the crowd. I asked her anything like that? No, I fucking hadn't. What does that mean? Oh. Coach from Slam Dunk? What? That. What is this? You are now completely delusional. And suddenly it unlocks something too in the world. Pulling right into the enemy base. What the hell was she thinking? Killed at any moment. Really ignoring my complaints, Senna casually entered the fancy building, dragging me along with her. Well, the chain gave me no choice in the matter. Grandeur of the expansive lobby standing before me took my breath away. No Nozomi Group. It became one of Japan's leading conglomerates. Feels like this was so far removed from the life of a student like me. It felt like a completely different world. Never set foot in a building quite like it before. The size of the lobby, the practical enshrinement of the hot grills at the reception desk. I had to take a moment to breathe. Wait, we were in a company workplace? Shouldn't have been off limits to unauthorized personnel? Well, Senna and I were wearing Suime uniforms, so we were obviously high school students. Not only that, I was wrapped in a chain too, practically screaming that we were intruders. Senna disregarded this and entered the building like she owned the place. We began to doubt her sanity. When we entered the automatic doors, I made eye contact with one of the receptionists.
帰ろうよ。
Hesitant to go any further than we already had, but Senna didn't stop moving.
心配するな。
Moved past the reception desk and headed towards the elevator in the back. Nobody said a word to us. What the hell? His Jedi mind tricks. Senna didn't get on the elevator though. Instead, she chose to go to the fire escape near the hall. Beyond the door was a dimly lit emergency staircase. That's where she finally stopped.
周囲は私たちを望みの社員だと思い込んでる。
Suddenly, before I could even blink, the pressure on my body disappeared. When I looked down, I saw the chain around me vanish without a trace. I saw was a D-sword in Senna's hand. Did that change his delusion? Senna had real ability using her gigalomaniac powers? Senna had sent antiparticles into my dead spots, this time making the rebooted chain instantly disappear?
のぞみの社員と思ってるって、どういう
そう思い込ませた。肉眼で私たちを見た人間全員にな。
Aid them? She could do that? Senna then looked up at the top of the staircase. Something resembling a surveillance camera was installed there. Had a red light affixed to it. Let out an eerie sound as it surveyed the room.
監視カメラにも思い込ませることってできるの？
やろうと思えばできるかもな。試したことはない。それに、やる必要もない。
なんでバレちゃうじゃないか。ありえない。スニーキングミッションでは監視カメラを最初に壊すでしょ。常識的に考えて。
Played a video game before at least.
言っただろ。お前が目立つことが必要なんだ。
Make any sense? What kind of stealth mission is this? Exactly what I don't get. Aren't you contradicting yourself? Made them assume that we're Nozomi employees in order to camouflage us, then you turn around and say you need to stand out. Which is it? What exactly are you trying to do? All everyone ever does is speak in riddles. You think I'm an idiot or something? What do y'all think to yourselves? Even if I try to explain, he won't get it? You do, don't you? Fuck you. Like, damn it. I'm smart, people. My IQ is absolutely higher than Senna's, no doubt about it. I had my lip in frustration. Then took off on her own up the stairs, leaving me behind to continue seething. This girl have any actual interest in protecting me? No, she didn't, after all. She'd have already put me in harm's way by dragging me into this building. But regardless of her intention, I just wish she'd stop rushing ahead on her own. At least tell me where she was going and what she was trying to do. Just give me some sort of explanation, please. Why are we using the staircase instead of the elevator anyway? I sucked at exercising.
エレベーターに乗るのは自殺行為だ。
Erebeta. And his voice rang out from above me. She read my mind again. With a sigh, I started heading up the stairs toward her voice. Then it was waiting 2 stories ahead above me. As soon as I caught up, she started climbing again.
敵の本拠地でエレベーターに乗ったら、閉じ込められて身動きが取れなくなるのがオチだろ。
それはそうだけど。
それより西条、将軍について教えろ。そいつはいつからお前を攻撃するようになった？
1ヶ月ぐらい前から。
話したことがあるんだな。
When I nodded in response, Senna stopped dead in her tracks and looked down at me from a few stairs above. I can see your panties from this angle, Senna-san. Averted my eyes at a reflex.
どんなことを言っていた？
A lot of things. I went to tell Senna about everything Shogun had set up to that point. The fake kidnapping he'd staged to try and scare me.
畑野という名前に聞き覚えは？
ないけど。
将軍が言っていたかもしれないだろう。よく思い出せ。
Tano. I'd never heard that name before.
誰？
プロジェクトノアに関わっていた男だ。
What's up, Pink Spike? I didn't know him. I didn't even know what Project Noah was.
そうか。知らないなら別にいい。
Turned away in a huff and resumed her climb in silence.
Maだ。
Got up at least 20 stories with next to no breaks. Probably never climbed so many stairs in my entire life. I was exhausted. I didn't want to climb anymore. So a choke went down my forehead, singing at my eyes. I whipped it off over and over again with my hands, but I continued to beat no matter what I did. My legs felt heavy. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was going to suffocate. I had to put my hands on my knees in an attempt to catch my breath. Drops of sweat fell on my face and dotted the floor.
あと、どれぐらい登るの？
社長室は最上階にあるらしい。31階だ。
No! 10 more floors to go? Hold on. Why was I even going along with this in the first place? All I done was ask Senna to protect me. Why was this happening to me? Well, Naros, what the hell's this? Face appeared in the back of my mind. Heavy breathing reverberated throughout the quiet staircase. Surprisingly, Senna didn't try to go on ahead after I caught up this time. Instead, she leaned against the wall and stared at me with a blank expression on her face. It seemed like she was finally letting us take a short break. However, mounted above Senna was another one of the security cameras, installed on every floor. There was no way they hadn't find out we'd been climbing the stairs by this point. Security guards could arrive at any moment.
監視カメラに細工をしなかったのは、
Suddenly, Senna began to murmur something.
将軍がもし望みの人間で、このビル内にいるなら、おびき寄せることができるかもしれないと思ったからだ。
He's at the hospital.
つまり、僕はおとりってわけ？
そういうことになる。もともと望みになんか興味はなかったんだけどな。このビルに乗り込むことにしたのだって、イレギュラーだ。もちろん、いつかはプロジェクトノアを潰そうとは思っていたが、それは今じゃない。それよりも優先しなくちゃいけないことがあった。
Awfully talkative all of a sudden. Finally gonna explain why we were here? Then reveal what something else was.
お前の話を聞く限り、その将軍は何かを知ってる。あるいは、畑野のことも。
Split second, her face stiffened up upon saying that name. Really that terrible of a person?
安心しろ、西条。これは交換条件だ。お前におとりになってもらう代わりに、私はお前を守る。それにお前だって、将軍の正体を知りたいだろ？脅威を排除するには、こちらから攻撃。
Then I abruptly stopped. She then frowned, stepped away from the wall, and righted her gigantic D-sword, right in the middle of this narrow, cramped stairway.
どうしたの？
I didn't answer. Peered down the stairwell and then up, only to freeze in place.
この声、どこから？
Voice?
お前、何者だ！
They shouted. She might have been shouting to the security camera, but her gaze was directed farther upwards, toward the ceiling. Couldn't be. Bad feeling about this. Able to resist the bait, I looked up at the ceiling. Naturally, there was nothing there. Well, I couldn't hear the voice. I had no idea what it was. Shogun! Reading our minds with some kind of satellite way up in the sky, and he was making a sound. I heard some kind of voice.
セナ！その声を聞いちゃダメだ！セナ！
I probably grabbed hold of her shoulders and shook her.
将軍は、望みの人間じゃないらしい。
I was right. She had heard Shogun's voice.
騙されてる！あいつは敵だよ！信じちゃダメだ！
音だ。
Andra still gripping her shoulders. She responded by grabbing my wrist tightly. Her nails dug deep and shooting pains throughout my entire body. My face twisted and...
西条、音がしている！気をつけろ！
Oh no, my delusion. Oh, what is happening? What? Flash of light burst into my head, and from that light an image came forth. Dark room, puddle of blood sitting on the floor, a modern art piece resembling that of a crucifix. Someone was bound there, head lifelessly hanging down, their clothes stained in blood, their right hand cruelly severed. Nanami. I'd seen it. I'd seen it clearly. That was without a doubt Nanami.
ナナミがこのビルのどこかに。
You've been kidnapped by Shogun. Her wrist, that wasn't delusion, it was real. I had to find her. I was able to save her before, and now Senna was suffering too. So I had to find her. This time for sure I had to do something.
落ち着け、西条！これは罠の可能性が。
さっき君だって将軍の言葉を信じたじゃないか。
I violently took Senna's hands off me. The residential office was on the 31st floor.
違う！音を聞け！将軍の干渉とは別の妄想だ！
In order and sprinted up the stairs. This was no time to complain of my exhaustion. I was desperate. Nami was suffering. It was my fault. It was all my fault. I failed her back then. I'd run away. She must resent me. Forgive me. I'm a pathetic excuse for an older brother. Damn it, I wanted power. I wanted a D-sword like Senna's. Why? Why couldn't I get my hands on one? That's all I asked for. Nami, don't die. I'm begging you.
Nanami!
Oh no. It's not here. I made it to the giant 34th floor, and there was only one entrance to it. In no time, I flung it open and dove straight through, and just like that, I was in the very same room that I saw in the vision. Little wonders from that ceiling, each displaying the word Nozomi on a white background. I looked all over for Nanami, but the room was so dark I couldn't make out anything clearly, but
ナナミ。
no signs of life. movement, no breathing, nothing at all.
西条
He snapped at me, Senna flew through the open door. She forcefully grabbed my hand.
今すぐ出るぞ。これは罠だ。
だってナナミが
聞こえないのか、この音が。
Suddenly, the door that we'd left opened and slammed shut all on its own. The room grew even darker.
しまった。
I ran to the door and wrestled with the knob, but it refused to budge. Then, the outline of the D-sword in her hands suddenly faded into nothing, almost as if it completely dissolved.
閉じ込められた。
だったら力を使えばいいじゃないか。
What was her D-sword?
うまく妄想できない。
Then his face twisted. She rubbed her temples and weakly shook her head. Getting a headache. I noticed it when I regained my focus. It wasn't severe by any means, but minor faint pain. It seemed to reverberate from the very center of my head. I think that throbbed and throbbed and throbbed. I felt kind of lightheaded. Nami, where are you? Is this one of Shogun's traps? Shogun, my ally? My company has Nozomi technology. And has such small tits. Who's a Tano anyway? Weird, I'm losing my train of thought.
バイオ周波数攻撃を受けているぞ。
No. Way on two of the monitors overhead suddenly changed. Yes, the Nozomi logo was the face of two middle-aged men appeared on, one on each monitor.
まったく最近の若者は恐れ知らずだな。もちろん悪い意味でだが。
いかにも。おそらく井ノ原先生が推進したゆとり教育の産物だろう
Already drew it. Tell them they had the meeting before.
私はただ300人委員会のプランを実行したまでだがな。世界人間牧場計画の一環としては悪くないプログラムだったよ。
What's going on? Who are these people?
それを潰したのも井ノ原先生だというのがなんとも滑稽なところだよ。300人委員会も予想外だっただろうね。
私と倉持先生の野心も知らず、のうのうと世界を牛耳っているつもりなのだろうが、そんな連中に対するある種の宣戦布告だったんだよ、あれは。
世界を掌握するのに300人も必要ない。我ら2人で十分なのだからね。
What are those two talking about? You know what I was thinking that? The two men on the monitors turned their stares toward me.
それにしてもノルセが言っていた通りだったね。まさかここまで馬鹿正直に網にかかる者がいたと。
1週間も放置しておけば衰弱してろくに抵抗もできなくなろう。それから拷問しようとしゃれ込もうではないか。
畑野瀬名はすでにコードサンプル取得済みと資料にはある。
Tano Senna? Who was that?
洗脳を施した方が良さそうだ。我らの兵士としよ
う。兵士兼慰み者だな。
No.
ギガロマニアックスの少女を奴隷とするなど、実に気分が良さそうではないか。
井ノ原先生もお好きだね。
ではギガロマニアックスの諸君、監禁生活をせいぜい楽しみたま
え。1週間が経つ頃にはプロジェクトノアにより世界は大きく変わっていることだろう。その変革の瞬間を見ることができない君たちに同情するよ。
Old men disappeared from the monitors. The room was covered in darkness once again. Been a trap. It all been a trap. I think two grown men, one of which I was sure was a member of the House of Representatives, who joined forces to just trap some random otaku freak like me. This couldn't be real. It had to be a fucking joke. Nami wasn't here. She should be in prison somewhere else. I felt absolutely pathetic for playing right into their hands. If I'd known this would happen, I would have listened to Senna.
衆議院議員と天聖振興会の教祖が300人委員会の一員だったとはな。
Slammed her shoulder against the entrance again and again, but refused to give in. It was probably been locked from the outside. Tina was extremely sturdy. Trying to bust open was likely impossible.
300人委員会
correctly, wasn't the name of the organization that occasionally popped up in conspiracy theories? Did it actually exist?
よく考えてみればそれも納得だ。もともと沈黙の兵器の理論を作ったのは300人委員会なんだからな。
さっきのおっさんたちが言ってたプロジェクトノアって何？
Given up, Senna stepped away from the door in defeat. Surveyed the dimly lit room with a sullen expression.
のぞみテクノロジーが進めている沈黙の兵器開発計画だ。
Three more
沈
teams,
黙の
nice.
兵器。
一言で言うなら広範囲に作用するマインドコントロール装置だ。
Oh,
思考
Project
統
Noah.
率、視覚投影、五感制御。肉体的には損傷を与えることはない。音もないし、色もないし、匂いもしない。目にも見えない。だが確実に多くの人の精神をゆっくりと静かに汚染していく。誰にも気づかれないまま攻撃は完了しているんだ。
まるでギガロマニアックスの力みたいじゃないか。
当然だ。沈黙の兵器はギガロマニアックスを人工的に生み出そうという考えから始まったんだからな。
It was all so insane that it didn't even feel real. But in the end, just the way things were. There was no hero. I was told that an insane conspiracy such as that was true, that was currently unfolded in Shibuya. I feel the slightest urge to stand against it. If I were to go out and fight, I wouldn't be able to help anyone. Just leave it to someone who actually was useful. Maybe the Newton incidents, as well as the endless string of bizarre events that have been plaguing me, are related to this Project Noah. If that was the case, I need to leave Shibuya as soon as possible in order to protect myself. All I want is for Namini to be safe, me to be safe, and the rest to live in peace. That's all I wished for. For that to happen, I need to find a way out of here. I couldn't stand the thought of being stuck in a place like this for upwards of a week, especially when there was no sign of food or water anywhere. Well, that's what those old guys have been talking about. If we'd eat or drink for an entire week, we'd inevitably start to break down. Worst case scenario, we could even die.
セナ、なんとかここから脱出する方法を考えてよ。
扉は開かない。
And I looked utterly exhausted.
ディソードは
なぜか出せなくなった。
What?
力を封じられたか。沈黙の兵器で攻撃されているぞ、西条。
Silent weapon attacked the hell. Say there's no way out? Then with like a pure exhaustion, slumped down to the floor.
大丈夫？
そう。体がだるい。それになんだか妙な気持ちだ。胸の奥が締め付けられるよ。
Breathing shallow, Senna undid a few buttons over her uniform. In the dark, I could see that her skin was drenched in sweat. About a situation, I found myself getting flustered. I think it did feel pretty hot in here.
なあ、水を持ってないか。
Of course I didn't. Getting thirsty too and fast. I was spending a full week in this heat without a drop of water made me feel utterly hopeless. Staring fixedly at me. There was no way to be able to maintain eye contact with three girls, so I desperately looked away. I still feel her gaze piercing through me. Don't look.
水はないよ。
I answered. I took a quick look at Senna. Our eyes met. Hold on, what was up with those shimmering eyes of hers? She almost looked like a love-struck maiden or some shit. I was both a virgin. I'd never had a girlfriend before, so I don't know if it would actually happen in reality. Panicking, I turned my back to Senna, gulped on my building saliva.
おかしい。気をつけろ、西条。感情を操作されているかもしれない。
え、それってどういう？
お前を見ていると切ない気持ちになってくるんだ。くそ、ふざけた攻撃を。
Acts involving making Senna feel like she'd all fallen in love with me. Maybe she already had feelings for me to begin with. Then no way in hell. Use your brain, Takumi.
感情を操作って一体どんな仕組みで？
人の感情なんて結局脳を流れる電気信号でしかないんだ。その電気信号に干渉する技術は 世界中で研究されてる。案外とっくに実用化されてるかもしれない。ましてや沈黙な兵器ノア2なら造作もないことだ。分かっただろう。世界は電気仕掛けだと私が言った意味が。
That means like a program, like lines of ones and zeros? Incredibly easy to tamper with something like that. Scientifically proves the fact that the electronic signals that run through our brains, so in reality, not only our emotions, but both the mind and the soul, crucible to mere electronic signals. Wait a second, it's no different from 2D, is it? For example, let's look at a heroine from Eroge, Lysolette from ESO, the anime version of Serotan and Senna. What's the difference between the four of them? What Senna says about everything in the world being an electronic device is true, there are no differences. All the same, more electronic signals run through a device. Felt like I finally, albeit vaguely, understood why Senna had used the word error. If all that was true, then this Noah 2 weapon would be like some deadly, super deadly virus, or something using cheats in order to PK. Even Neidhart could win against those kind of people. Not only that, but compared to Neidhart, I was a ridiculously shitty playable character. Jesus. In the end, being trapped here and starving to death like a pathetic loser, that was a pretty fitting game over for me.
僕が悪いんじゃない。死亡フラグ立てまくってる。僕の中の人が悪いんだ。くそ。
Cradling my head, I crawled into a ball. Around 28 hours had passed since we first gotten locked in there. During that time, I dozed off and lost consciousness countless times. I got overwhelmed by a surge of uncontrollable emotions with depression, mania, several similar feelings, leaving me mentally exhausted. And I hadn't said a single word to each other the entire time. Pretty much got completely and entirely useless since we got locked up, really. Final ray of hope was the PC. Aside from the ones that showed detestable faces of the Diet member and the religion's founder, 10 of other monitors decorating the room. One of them was connected to a single PC. So the PC was connected to the internet, which had posted a bunch of SOS messages on various boards. It had all been in vain. I haven't been able to post anything at all. The PC could just download just fine, but uploading was completely throttled. The attempt at sending chat messages or emails was completely snuffed out. But the orders of those two old guys, someone, somewhere, had been watching us. Why would they letting us have access to any information at all? Soon learned the answer to that question. We are starting to gather info online. I checked the articles tab of Taboo on a whim. Riot breaks out in Shibuya Scramble Crossing. No record with that title caught my eye. Immediately after that, it happened. No! All began with a tremor from below. The floor, no, the very building itself began to start to shake violently. The very next moment, I struck with a violent ringing in my ears. Such an intensely shrill, resonant sound, my head felt like it was going to burst open. Like I said, I was covered in her ears in agony. Then, thunderous roar. The entire building thrashed around violently, as if the world itself was trying to make a gigantic milkshake. Unable to stay upright anymore, I tumbled over. My back crashed against the wall. Senna was crouched down in the center of the room, curled into a ball. Above her head, the monitor fixed to the ceiling was swaying back and forth like a pendulum. Look out! The world suddenly went into slow motion. Swaying to the monitor slowed down. With a dull sound, the aluminum pole holding the monitor snapped. Fell down ever so slowly towards Senna. Feeling I'd experienced once before. Exactly like when Ayase jumped off the school roof. She was going to die. If that giant monitor fell on her head, Senna would die. Couldn't make it in time. There was roughly 5 meters between us. Besides, I didn't have the courage to risk my life to save a 3-year-old girl anyways. And so a delusion flared to life inside my mind. In that delusion, I kicked off the shaking floor, bolted over Senna, and threw my arms around her in a magnificent save. All that happened in an instant. Just the blink of an eye, my body teleported over to Senna, threw its arms around her, then tumbled to the floor. The sound of the monitor crashing to the ground echoed right beside my ear. Even though the room had been so dark before, my field of vision was dyed white. Along with the ear-splitting sound of an explosion, slammed with an even greater impact than before. That, my last shred of consciousness, was severed. How long had I been out? Consciousness drifted in and out of a deep slumber, with a ticklish, slightly annoying tingle on the tip of my nose. Upon noticing the faint, ever so slightly warmer sensation, I slowly opened my eyes. Say it's only a few inches from mine. Long hair was draped over my cheeks. Her faint breath blew right against my nose. Her eyes were closed, but her eyelashes were quivering. She must have only lost consciousness. We were really, really close. If I wanted to, I could have easily moved in and kissed her. I frantically tried to skirt away, but my body wouldn't move. This is when I finally realized what exactly had happened. With my head completely still, I tried to survey my surroundings. Pitch black, I couldn't make out anything. Godzilla. Like there'd been a thin film had been draped over my field of vision. But there was no film. It was just a cloud of dust. Been buried in the rubble. It wasn't that I couldn't see anything around me, but there wasn't any gaps in the rubble at all. No matter which direction I looked at, I couldn't find a single opening. I lodged in an extremely cramped pocket of space beneath the rubble. Whenever I tried to force my hands or legs to move, I would hear the sound of their pebbles crumbling into the ground. I made me realize I couldn't move or do anything at all. Cold sweat beaded on my forehead. Had there been an earthquake or something? We had recently experienced a lot of those recently, but maybe they'd all been foreshocks. So, it would have been the biggest earthquake to hit Tokyo since the Great Kanto earthquake. I mean, an Nozomi building collapsed? The terrorist attack that had happened in America several years past came back to mind, bringing an intense wave of hopelessness with it. The fact that we hadn't been injured yet, despite being stuck in the crevice, was probably nothing more than an intense sane stroke of luck. Yet being the key word. Rubble was just barely holding itself together, maintaining an extremely delicate balance. I had no way of making sure, but it was definitely possible that the dozens of tons of debris were piled on top of us. Hey, Dark Lord. Made a single wrong move, then the balance would be lost, and then that massive pile of rubble would crush us in less than a second. Imagine that as the last moment, I instantly froze in fear. I didn't want to die. I couldn't handle the idea of being crushed to death in a place like this, where no one would ever know. Hurry up and rescue me. The rescue squad, the self-defense force, I don't care who. Just get me out of here. I tried straining my eyes to see if I could hear any people around, but nothing but silence. A deafening, eerie silence. All I could hear was the sound of Senna breathing. Damn it. Sleeping like a goddamn baby, why don't you? Senna was lying sprawled on top of me, our bodies tightly pressed against each other. We complimented each other. Her chest, her stomach, her legs, nearly her entire body was right on top of me. It was heavy. It was heavy, and being forced to feel the softness of her arms and how slender her legs were. Oh God. Naturally, I could still feel Senna's breath hint to my cheek, and within it I could smell something sweet. Perhaps because of the crunchy coons she was always eating? Her breaths were deep and steady. They followed a distinct rhythm. Each time she breathed, I could feel her breasts faintly move up and down directly against my body. Is this some kind of torture? An attack of this magnitude would cause all sense of reason within me to crumble within 5 minutes tops. I need to wake her up somehow in order to avert this crisis. Wait, I have to wake her up? Would it be right for me to do that? I mean, if I woke her up, she saw the state we were in, how would she react? The same girl who regularly scowled at everything and everything. Well, so even though it was an accident far beyond my control, there was no doubt in my mind that she labeled me as a pervert anyway. Considering she wouldn't be thinking clearly, there's a very real possibility that she might rip up my throat. At this distance, taking Senna's position into account, not only could she easily do that, but I completely defenseless against it too. That was probably a little too extreme to be realistic, but if Senna really were to wake up in a panic, she could very well end up causing the rubble to collapse on top of both of us. That'd be the end of it. What the hell was I supposed to do? I could rip my hair out, I would have. So obviously I couldn't do that. I was ordered to bang the back of my head against the rubble. Through that, I was able to suppress my instinctual lust for Senna. Don't pay this wench any heed. I'm not, and I'll never will be into 3D girls. The girls love are all 2D. Seidotan, appear before me. Drive these worldly desires from my mind. Not into stuck-up bitches like her, so I won't give in to my lust. Mustn't give in to my lust. Not give in to my lust. Mustn't give in to my lust. I can't control it anymore. She's unconscious, isn't she? Surely no one will mind if I make ample use of her while she is. Oh, I taste one of those arrogant lips of hers. Same as nothing but spew self-righteous bullshit. No, I should go straight for the lips. Not mentally prepared for that quite yet. In that case, how about aim for her cheek? What does the skin of a 3D girl taste like, I wonder? Does it taste sweet? Or does it perhaps taste sweet? Startled, I cut off the delusion inside my head. Senna's voice leaked out of her mouth, mixed in with her breath. It was quiet as a whisper. Her voice is soft and frail. Never imagined it could come from someone who was normally so fierce and unapproachable. Her eyes were still closed. It didn't seem like she'd woken up yet. She'd been talking in her sleep. I felt a pang of relief, realizing she hadn't read my impure, perverted thoughts. Behind her closed eyelids, I felt a tiny drop fell. That, a barely audible plop, it landed on my cheek. So very warm, and yet, after only a fleeting moment, it went cold. Even Senna cried sometimes, I suppose. Now even I was starting to feel sad. Something happened between her and her father? A little worried, I timidly called out to her. With a twitch, Senna's body started to stir. Her eyes gently opened. At point-blank range, our eyes met. The drowsy Senna stared at me. Her eyes were still sleepy. She didn't seem to be fully awake yet. Don't look, it's embarrassing. It didn't take long for Senna's face to instantly turn beet red. Her eyes shot open, and her gaze raced from side to side.
これは、どうなってる？
動いちゃダメだ。瓦礫に押しつぶされちゃうから。
瓦礫だと？
Explained to Senna how we'd been buried alive by the earthquake.
そうか。確かあの時、すごい揺れが来て、上から大きなモニターが落ちてきて。お前が、私を助けてくれたんだったな。
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Though I don't have a single clue as to how.
礼を言う。私が守ってやる約束だったんだがな。まさか西条に助けられるとは。もっとダメな奴だと思っていたが、意外と男らしいじゃないか。
どうも。
I've never thought I'd be complimented like that in a million years. Must have been the first time in my entire life I've got a compliment from a 3D girl. Granted, Sato-chan told me I was totally amazing all the time, but still.
だが、この状況は、良くないな。
密着してるもんね。
バカ、そうじゃないだろう。ここで生き埋めになってることの方だ。
ごめん。
まあ、密着してるのも、良くない状況だが。
セナのギガロマニアックスの力で、なんとかしてよ。できるでしょ。
難しいかもしれないが、やるだけやってみよう。西条、私の目を見ろ。
なんで？
お前と私の間で周囲共通認識を作るためだ。
Just asked me to look into her eyes. Squished together like this was already embarrassing enough. Even that would completely smash my sense of reason I had left. I'd go feral.
ぐずぐずするな。聞こえなかったのか？私の目を見ろ。
Pushed on by Senna's voice, I reluctantly obeyed, gazed into her eyes, then those eyes turned directly toward me. Okay, this is really embarrassing. I made eye contact with a girl for such a long time before. Never even looked people in the eye while talking to them in the first place, so I wasn't even close to comfortable with this. Making eye contact essentially meant that you were the only thing that person was looking at. Right now, it was reflected in Senna's eyes, and that was the only thing she was looking at, monopolizing Senna's field of vision. We were so close. Upon realizing that, I couldn't help but think that this embarrassing act was just as erotic as any H scene ever was. Ah, curse my eroge brain. Shit, I need to stop making these idiotic delusions. We're making eye contact. What if Senna were trying to see through me? I don't know, be able to read someone's thoughts just like looking into the eyes, but Kozupi could, and Senna was a gigglemaniac as well. Couldn't do this. Making eye contact with the girl was impossible.
西条、目をそらすな。
Saying that, Senna's gaze wasn't pointed in the right direction either.
僕には無理。
そうか。実は私も無理だ。
What?
こんな近い距離じゃ照れる。
Seeing Senna saying beet red breathed some life back into me, actually. Where'd all this moe come from? This girl not actually 3D? Girl, this couldn't be 3D. Senna, you're so cute, Senna.
暑いな。
His forehead, face, and even the nape of her neck were drenched in sweat. How close we were, I could even smell it. There's no wind or anything either. The rubble barriers had no openings. Was there even a way for air to pass through at all? If not, we were going to run out of oxygen pretty soon. Upon thinking that, I realized Senna's breathing had become really heavy. The movement of her small chest on top of me had gotten much faster than before.
まさか息苦しい。
うるさい。暑いだけだ。
What was I supposed to take from that? Never just use your gigglemaniac powers already. Shouldn't be able to make all this debris disappear like magic?
西条、お前の力でなんとかならないか。
He's 2D.
この状況じゃ、私はうまく集中できない。
What are you on about? Don't tell me you're going to start relying on me now. What exactly do you expect me to do anything about this? Realizing the flower bed beneath the Ayase and saving you earlier were both just coincidences. I did any on purpose, let alone consciously. Don't rely on me. I'm supposed to rely on you, Senna. You stop breathing all this warm air on me. It's actual torture. A drop of Senna's sweat fell into my mouth. It was salty.
勘弁して。
Verge of tears. My sense of reason was this close to flying out the goddamn window. It was in my mouth. I was holding it in my mouth. Senna's juices.
おい、西条。
Her face is still red, but she seemed to be a lot more angry than she was before.
お前、殺すぞ。
な、
I always taste your sweat. You can't kill me for that. Besides, it's your fault for letting it drop into my mouth.
この状況で、よくそんな。
Metal speaking, Senna buried her face in my chest, unable to bear the embarrassment. No way she'd done it intentionally. For me, that was the strongest blow out of anything so far. Yeah, so cute. Her brain was passing through the gaps in my clothes and directly into my skin. Here's what she'd done. Then I pulled her head back. I couldn't have lasted a little while longer.
やめろよ。お前、何を考えてるんだ。
Obviously shaken. Maybe she's used to being the tough person in the room, so someone else taking control of her really left her flustered.
今すぐ。妄想を封印しろ、西条。お前の、その、股間のあれが硬くなって、私の太ももに当たってるんだ、バカが。
What? Oh yeah, I did feel something there. Senna's soft, pillowy thighs.
妄想するなと言ってるだろ。
Oh, the delusion. No! Suddenly found myself on my face on the receiving end of a brutal headbutt. It was a surprise attack, and a mighty strong one at that. The single strike knocked me out like a light.
私はもう天聖振興会に戻る気はない。
実に惜しいね。君の才能を私は買っていたのだ。
利用していたの間違いだろう。私はもうあなたの言葉を信じない。教祖としての倉持雄大なる虚像でしかないと分かった。
信仰の救いを君も欲していたのだ。
かつての私は欲した。だが今は違う。
では何を欲しているのか。
償いのための死だ。
一度信仰に触れた者は離れることなどできない。君は離れたつもりでも信仰はいかなるものを見捨てない。
神に頼る。神に匹敵するものを作ってしまった私に神にすがることは許さない。
西条、起きろ、西条。
An extremely pompous conversation between two unfamiliar men. And as hushed shouts jutted in between the two voices, causing me to open my eyes. Surprisingly, we're so squished together. Close in rubble with no way to escape.
君は君自身の意志でこの未来を選び取ってきた。全ては君の責任。だが一人で背負うには重すぎる。信仰の救いがもたらされれば、その重みの多少は減る。私が選んだ信仰の導きに従っていや、あなたの言葉に従った結果として
誰かいる。話し声が聞こえるだろ。
Nodded in response. And the voices of two men seemed like the church cosmos of the Divine Light Randos. At the very least, definitely wasn't a rescue party.
あいつだ。あいつが近くへ。
Carefully heard the sound of Senna gritting her teeth.
言葉を語るのをやめるんだ、クラブ。あなたの人生は私の心に すでにノア2は完成している。あとは世界に向けて
Mm.
我
I
ら
don't
の
need you.
意志を発信するのみだ。
我らのではあなた井の花構造のいかにサードメルトの実験成功によりプロジェクトの試験段階を終了。
Third man during the conversation. What were they talking about? Where was it coming from? The fact that we could hear the voices meant they had to be at least somewhat close to us, and there wasn't much rubble on top of us as we might have thought. Senna shifted slightly. Her hand gripped my uniform tightly, so tightly it was like she was enduring intense pain. Her gaze pointed downward, but she didn't make any eye contact with me.
これからの世界一300人による統治から2人による統治に変わるという今日
It's two. It's canceled two now.
夜明けだよ。
My field of vision was suddenly overpowered with light. I saw pieces of rebel stardust began to crumble. Senna raised her head in shock. Her hair and hand reached toward us from above, peeking through a gasp in the rubble.
無事か、セナ。
前、
No, not her dad. The hand began to pull Senna up through the debris. As it did, the crevice beneath the rubble widened. And once her weight was lifted off me, I could finally move again. Crawled out of the gap that had been made by Senna's body. There was a room in the Nozomi building, the very same room we've been trapped in.
君もノロセ同様に我らが使ってやろうと言っているのにそれを拒否するとは。統治側ではなく家畜として生きるのが望むかね。
Almost all the monitors that had been hanging from the ceiling had crashed to the floor, leaving all the screens broken. Naturally, nothing was displayed on them anymore. Even the walls and various other chunks of the room were beginning to collapse. All in all, the room wasn't nearly as bad as I expected it to be. I assumed we'd been buried alive, but there wasn't even that much rubble. In hindsight, I probably could have escaped if I had tried to. Like such an idiot for being too scared to move.
セナ。
Face a man I'd never seen before. Wearing a ragged coat that complemented his clouded eyes. Oh, I looked like your typical homeless man. The feeling I met him somewhere before, but I couldn't remember where. Maybe he passed somewhere in Shibuya at some point. Aside from the two of them, there was no one else here. Voices of the people who had trapped us. Member of the House of Representatives of the Cosmic Church's founder must have come from the speaker somewhere in the room.
おや、畑野よ。どうやら親子で感動の対面を果たしたようだね。
Daughter? The man was Senna's father? Definitely heard Senna say the name Hatano before.
せいぜい再会の喜びでも語っているがいい。そしてそこから眺めているのだな。世界が変革していく様を。
ノア2をフル稼働させれば渋谷だけでなく世界中の全ての人間に作用を及ぼすことが可能だ。そのネットワークはすでに構築され。
Uh-oh. Suddenly, the voice in the speaker was cut short. And a series of strange sounds came through them. It meant their power hadn't been cut off. Something was wrong.
今のって。
銃声。
Gunshots came, the raspy sound of a man breathing raggedly.
バカな。こんなはずでは。私はこれから統治者に。
Final deathly scream. Then with a dull click, the audio was cut short once more, and the speaker fell silent. The rest of sounds covered the room. What just happened?
殺されたんじゃ。
殺された？誰に？
知らないよ。
Two voices were being broadcast from somewhere else, and the audio was coming out of the speakers. How close were the room we were in? At the very least, they had somewhere to be in the building. Taking that into consideration, the culprit who killed us two had to be close by.
逃げようよ。殺人鬼がここに来るかも。
だから、殺人鬼って誰だ？なんであの二人は殺された？いや、殺されたと判断した根拠は？
落ち着け、セナ。
お前には聞いてない！
悲鳴聞いたでしょ。殺されたとしか思えないよ。
Who killed them? Shogun? But wait, wasn't Shogun supposed to be a member of Nozomi? No, that was an assumption on my part. There's no evidence proving he had anything to do with them.
逃げるのは少し面倒だ。このビルは崩れかかっている。あちこちに歪みが生じている。私がこの部屋に入ってきた直後に、入り口が瓦礫で塞がれてしまった。
What? Isn't that like way below us? How'd you know? It was just as Hatano said. I had this nagging feeling, one that told me, considering the way the walls and everything around us had collapsed, there was way more debris than there should have been. I had a bad feeling about this. Well, it wasn't like I'd ever been to an abandoned building before, so I couldn't exactly judge the relationship between the way a room collapsed and the amount of rubble produced. One thing I knew for sure was that we'd managed to escape before being buried alive, but the fact that we were still locked in hadn't changed.
ディソードで壊せばいい。
Finally occurred to me that the bizarre resonant sound from earlier had finally stopped. Maybe that's going to destroy the device that had been the source? I think it was called a porter? That was true. Instead, I might be able to get us out of here. I breathed a sigh of relief, then waited to hear Sena's brilliant plan of escape. How she didn't take out her D-sword. She simply continued to glare at Hatano-san.
あの二人と何を話していた？
昔話だ。互いに分かり合うことのできない。ね。
分かり合うことのできない？本当にそうか？今でもつながりがあるんじゃないのか？この半年、どこで何をしていた？今になってこの場所に都合よく現れたのはなぜだ？このビルのどこかで私たちをモニタしていたからじゃないのか？
私はこの半年、渋谷を徘徊していただけの死にたがりだ。天聖振興会にものぞみテクノロジーにも戻るつもりはない。
And gave a light click of the tongue and turned toward me.
あの二人が殺されたと思う根拠は？
それはだから。
彼らは敵が多い。
Tano stepped in.
誰に殺されても納得できる。
お前には聞いてないと言っているだろ。
でもほら、悲鳴とか銃声が聞こえて。
本当にそうか？単なる演技の可能性は？そもそもスピーカーから聞こえていたあの二人の声はリアルタイムのものか？
What was she talking about?
地震対策がしっかりしてる日本で、のぞみグループという日本を代表する巨大企業の本社ビルがこれほどの地震被害を受けている。それだけとんでもない地震が起きたということだ。そんな状況でなぜあの二人はこの部屋のスピーカーでベラベラと裏事情を話してくれたんだ。
And I painstakingly enunciated each and every word just to make sure I knew exactly what I was claiming. Classified information? Well, like Noah 2 and the third melt? Not that I know anything about them either way.
これ見よがしに感じる。奴らは裏事情を私たちに意図的に聞かせる必要があったのかもしれない。あの二人は実在しているのか？地震が起きる前にすでに死んでいた可能性は？西条、私もお前もこのビルに乗り込んでからあの二人とは一度も会っていない。そうだな。
でもモニターで喋ってた。
モニターの中でだろ？実際に会ったわけじゃない。あんなものいくらでも細工できる。スピーカーについても言うまでもない。何か変だ。不可解だ。それに私は。
Nano stared at me with those wide eyes, interrupting Senna.
西条匠君、君がそうなのか？そうか、君が。
動くな。
Senna, in response to being ignored, called out to Hatano-san in a sharp voice.
もう一度聞く。お前はなぜここにいる？
お前たちを助けに来た。いや、殺されに来たというのが本心かもしれない。
心配しなくてもすぐに殺してやる。でもその前に質問に答えろ。私たちがここにいることをどうして知っていた？
強い心の呼びかけを感じた。
ギガロマニアックスでもないお前が どうしてそれを感じることができるんだ。いや、ギガロマニアックスでさえ心の呼びかけなんていう曖昧な妄想を感知できるのはごく一部だけだ。
Like Kosubi, for example. Come to think of it, I wonder how she's doing. She caught up in the earthquake, hope she's safe.
本当に感じたのか。最初から知っていたんじゃないのか。私たちがこの部屋におびき寄せられたことを。
冷静になれセナ。憎しみに心を支配されているぞ。
冷静になれだと？ずっと殺したいと思っていた人間を目の前にして冷静でいられるはずがないだろう。
考えすぎてはいけない。物事は陰謀論ほど複雑ではなく、もっとシンプルだ。
シンプル。
この場にお前が現れるのは都合が良すぎるんだ。最初から仕組まれたことじゃないのか。この部屋におびき出されて監禁された私たち、地震直後に現れたお前という存在、スピーカーからのこれ見よがしの陰謀論風な演説とその不可解な中断。そもそもこの部屋が望みのビルである確証もない。私たちが気絶している間に別の場所に運び込まれていたとしたら、望みのビルに内装だけ模してある部屋、地震など起きていなくて散乱している瓦礫も人為的に配置したもの。
More words sounded throughout, the more unsure I began what to believe. The very foundation of knowledge I'd always relied on was collapsing, being pulled apart piece by piece.
疑心暗鬼は己を滅ぼす。気をしっかり持て、セナ。
お前に名前を呼ばれたくはない。会話をするつもりもない。質問に答えろ。
地震は起きた。確実にだ。渋谷のあらゆる建物が崩壊しかかっている。死傷者は4桁以上だろう。
それを証明する方法を持っているのか。
その壁を崩してみるといい。お前の理想度で。
Oh. Her right hand as if she was shaking something off. He sort of materialized in an instant. Swung it down towards the wall without hesitation. He sort of smoothly cleaved through the wall like a hot knife through butter. Wall broke down immediately after a fierce, chilly wind blew through the room. Scenery from behind the destroyed wall was laid bare before us. We saw there was... But then... Booyah, transformed into little ruins of death. A few hours ago had been crowded with people, flashy videos, playing an insane volume from various jumbotrons that were overflowing with glittering decorations. These all befitting the city of youth. Now almost all the iconic buildings had collapsed. Those that had survived were either leaning at a sharp incline or in violent cracks gradually eroding away at them. Not a single car remained on the road. They also had caved in at multiple points, risen up at many others. Pitch black smoke billowed from numerous locations and disappeared into the black of the sky. That was the Shibuya we saw from atop the skyscraper. It had only been jumping at shadows, and that was no better. There was no mistaking it. We're still on the 31st floor of the Nozomi building, and an earthquake had occurred. No telling when the building would collapse. If the building were to fall, I had no chance of surviving. The enemy being crushed under endless tons of rubble. We'd be buried for all eternity. My body never found. I needed to get out as fast as humanly possible. Trembling violently, I surveyed the room. Huh? Eyes instinctively honed in an object, a monitor that had fallen to the floor.
単なる地震でここまで被害が大きくなるはずがない。ノア2か。
そうだ。サードメルト。ノア2の最終稼働実験だ。
Like an 8 earthquake or something like that. Half the LCD screens were broken. Nothing was displayed on it. However, the remaining half was tenaciously staying lit. I think it had been on when I looked earlier, but I wasn't completely sure.
サードメルト。お前も関わっているのか。
言っただろう。私はもう半年以上前に望みから逃げ出した人間だよ。
望みだけじゃない。お前は私や母さんや妹からも逃げたんだ。
ああ、認める。
walked into Sen and Hatano-san's strange arguing. I crouched down in front of the monitor. There were letters on it. Text was being displayed. What? The chat room? Say my name. Why? Why'd they say my name? What do they mean? How are you seeing this? Then creeped me out. Who'd written it? Hannah seemed to be corrupted. How do they know my name? How do they know I was in this building, let in this very room? He was Grim? Never asked before, but he was actually some kind of super hacker. Was he some kind of super hacker all along? Maybe it was Shogun, like usual. Was reading my mind again, prepping me to give him my next quest. Sounded Nanami covered in blood surface in my mind. Right, and Nanami's being in prison somewhere. This is anyway related to Nanami. She could be killed if I didn't respond to the message. Crouched under the keyboard that had fallen down to the monitor. Let out a single groan. No idea whether or not the keyboard was actually connected to the monitor. All I could do was pray it would work, so I pressed the N key. N. Input was reflected on the monitor. Seemed like I could use the keyboard to type in chat after all. I had a temporary handle, guest. And with N and O since the messages hadn't clarified what I was supposed to be seeing. This supposed to be seen. Didn't know that yet. I couldn't answer yes, but I knew more. Nami's life could be at stake, so I had to be even more careful than usual. Safe to assume you are seeing this. Another message arrived. We are the community of 300. What? Wait, so it wasn't Shogun, it was the community of 300? I heard the name over and over again today. Those old guys that supposedly had killed earlier. Kuramochi and Inohana, they'd both been part of the community of 300.
西条、どうした？
Then I peeked over my shoulder at the monitor.
なんだそれは。
わからない。僕に名指しで呼びかけてきて。
Boy, Senna, you two will be monitored by us. Arm, both my gaze and Senna's snapped to the ceiling. Watching us with security cameras? Oh no. Some things in the room that look like cameras, but all of them had been destroyed by an earthquake. They weren't working. The monitors were completely silent, too.
そいつ何者だ？
Community of 300.
何をバカな。300人委員会だと証明することはできるのか？西条、そう打ち込め。
うん。
Before I could even start typing, another message appeared. Needn't type. You'll be monitored in real time. Not by traditional means, no surveillance cameras. Viewpoint from God. Kind of all higher being. Can't even understand this system or the concept. What the hell?
ノア2の攻撃？それともギガロマニアックスからの妄想攻撃か？西条、こいつが将軍の可能性は？
No way I could figure that out with how little we've been given. I went from side to side. To her, it probably looked like I was about to cry. Then responded with an irritated click of her tongue.
さっき、井の花と倉持を殺した殺人鬼じゃ。
いや、むしろ可能性が一番高いのは、こいつが井の花か倉持のどちらかということだろう。300人委員会を名乗ってるぐらいだしな。
Did it point the tip of her D-sword at Atano-san. One handed the gigantic, viciously sharp sword with incredible ease.
あるいは、お前の差し金による罠かもしれない。
私がこのような細工をする意味はない。
Running down to look at the monitor, it's tiring out my legs. Reading the text in the dark was equally taxing. To combat this, I shoved some debris off the table and placed the monitor on top of it.
倉持と井の花以外の300人委員会メンバーかもしれない。何しろ300人いるのだから。
いずれにせよ、こいつが本物ならという前提がつく。自分から名乗る黒幕はドラマや映画の中だけだ。
本物か偽物かという判断は今はそれほど優先されるべきことではない。重要なのはこの自称300人委員会メンバーが井の花と倉持を殺した殺人鬼なのかそうでないかだ。
Disposed of Inohana and Kuramochi.
こいつが犯人？
No. Those two really were killed. They sought to betray us, you see. We knew long before of their breach of faith.
委員会メンバー同士の内
Really
部抗
debugging.
争か。
Trying to conflict among the I say.
倉持たちがモニタしていた部屋からコンタクトしてきているかもしれない。
でもだったらなんでスピーカーを使わないの？
声を聞かれたくないからだろう。正体を知られたくないんだ。
僕らの知ってる誰かなの？
書き込んでいる男はかなり慎重だということだよ。いや、男かどうかも不明だが。
この書き込みをしているのが井の花か倉持で、単なる自作自演だとしたら。
井の花と倉持の二人での仲違いだというのか？
そうかもしれないし、実は二人とも生きていて私たちを騙しているだけかもしれない。
騙す意図について推測できているのか？
I didn't remember the Committee of 300. Under the impression they were pawns. Remember they had to take the stage.
何者だって言うんだ。
You don't even exist in your world.
神だとでも言うつもりか？
Implying that you're God?
このチャット相手との議論はしない方がいいかもしれない。相手の意図が不明だ。言葉しか見えないのでは、いくらでもフェイクの情報を織り交ぜることができる。
Advice was solid. The text of the monitor kept appearing rapidly. We can get a read on these guys behind the never handle. They have a terrifying amount of information about us. That would be appropriate. There are the 300 each have our own districts. We are those who administer your world. I finished reading everything that had been written up until that point, and an idea suddenly popped into my head. Something I'd thought about many times before.
あなたはゲームマスターっていうこと？
The Game Masters! Oh my god. We've broken through.
ゲームマスター？どういう意味
The
だ？
Dungeon Masters, alright? Gotta spell it out for you? Try not to jump on any copyrights here.
演出で言えば開発者側ってこと。もっとわかりやすく言うなら
Could be admins.
中の人だよ。
ちっともわからないぞ。
In our temples, a sour look crossed her face. Kids these days. Fumi's right. We are the Game Masters who administer progression to MMORPGs.
マジで？
You are all players, perhaps
おー、来た、
NPCs. No! You know, NPC, that was the one they had to have there. What's up, Walrus? It's finally happening. Oh yeah, no, this is great. Council 300 is God, apparently, and they're the game masters administering this MMORPG. If there had been delusions upon delusions, they've been true all along. First, had Simon Reality controlling me, just like how I controlled Nightheart. Someone was controlling me in the same way.
だったら僕の中の人に言ってよ。キャラメイキングを今すぐやり直せって。もっと僕を操作する腕を上げろって。
I didn't make you. Shouted at the monitor. Felt Senna's puzzled gaze land on my back. Dabbers Connor, we want to make a
チート
request.
コード？
We'll give you a cheat code as compensation.
すごいぞ。チートは裏技みたいなものだよ。演数で言えばそのコードを入力するだけでレベル1だったキャラを
Oh.
一瞬でレベル50にできたり、あとはドロップ率 0.025% の超レアアイテムを何の苦労もせずにいきなり手に入れたりできるんだ。
Operator.
もしチートコードがあるなら僕はもう弱っちいキモータじゃなくなるんだ。本当の勇者になれるかも。三次元女子とも気取らずに喋られるようになる。
That epic plot moment I've been hoping for. Becoming the strongest, most popular character without any actual effort. I'd be totally OP. This was actually happening. Giving me 300 actual fucking gods. But like actually, this is so fucking awesome sauce. Holy shit.
それがチートコードだとして本当にあると思うのか？このチャット相手は高次存在らしいが、そんな神のような存在が私たちと同じ言葉や用語を使っているのはなぜだ？これは罠だ。
Fortunate conjecture proves incorrect. Use familiar terms
Kirenda.
so you'd understand. Words we frequently make use of do not exist in your world. Belief, a lack therefore lies with
僕
you.
は
Lack thereof.
信じる。
Wanted to believe them. I don't want to continue living in fear any longer. I was able to get a power even stronger than Shogun's. We will live in peace. Careful for cooperation, Takumi. That could eliminate error for us. Well, you three knows know it too.
なぜ自らの
Has
力を
capability to
行
wipe
使しない
game data completely. Cause crashes. Who has forced your world into autistic mode. In other words, only accepts minimal interference from us.
頭が痛く
Game
なって
Master
く
got
る。
indirectly intervene in the game. Need your cooperation.
口から出任せにしか思えない。直接介入できないというなら、どうやって井の花と倉持を排除した？
We have other cooperators. We think of them as debuggers. None of them can destroy
協
Noah
力じゃなく
2.
て、
We need
私た
Giglomaniacs.
ちを利用したいだけだろ。
Well, whatever you wish. I'll not deny it. Often our interests align here.
それは確かに。
That's true.
巧妙だな。一連の書き込みを見ていると300人委員会は実在しているとも実在していないとも取れる。これがノア2による攻撃である可能性もある。
でも井の花と倉持がノア2を使って300人委員会を裏切ろうとしてたのは本当のことだったじゃないか。あいつら自身がそう説明してたよ。
あの時点から妄想による攻撃が始まっていたとしたら、さっきも言っただろ。モニターやスピーカーで喋っていた井の花と倉持が本物である証拠は一つもない。
さっきからセナは疑ってばかりじゃないか。
この状況で信じられるのは自分だけだ。世界は全て電気仕掛けで、電気信号に細工するだけで簡単に見ているものを捏造できる。ここから見える崩壊した渋谷の光景も、この瓦礫だらけの部屋も、300人委員会を名乗る存在からの書き込みも、今この場でこうして話している西条や、
Then I shot a glance at Hatano-san.
この男ですらも偽物かもしれないんだ。
セナ、
Your mind is an electronic device, your feelings electronic signals. Hatred you feel for your father must also be programmed in. This applies to human death as well. Even if you shouldn't feel any sadness. Deny this? Gritted her teeth, her expression grew angrier and angrier.
これは妄想だ。私の心への攻撃だ。惑わされないぞ。
Here's our proposition. Succeed in destroying Noah 2, we shall revive your mother and younger sister.
セナ、言葉に流されるな。この書き込みが精神攻撃かもしれないと言ったのはお前自身だ。
They have the cheat
でも
codes.
チートコードなら
Cheat the code.
可能かも。何しろ相手は神だし。
All things in the world are electronic devices, you said that yourself.
本
It's
当
all
なの
digital
か。
data, contact with life, and tons of life, they're just fabrications. You can personal after life exactly they were. Without memory tax is no problem for us at all. For us game masters, that is.
判断を誤るな。お前はそう信じたいだけだ。現実に蘇ることな
Alright,
どない。
we've gone back and forth on this 4 times. Let's fucking figure this out, you idiots.
うるさい。お前は黙ってろ。
心の負い目につけ込まれているぞ。相手は巧妙だ。こいつは神などではない。今確信した。ただの詐欺師だ。神は自己完結した存在でなければならない。生死の概念そのものを持ち合わせていないし、理解できない。そういう存在だ。
You shouldn't even understand what life and death means to people.
黙れと言ってるだろ。お前の宗教観は聞いてない。
Sena's D sword once again found itself pointed at Tano-san.
元はといえばお前がいけないんだ。お前が母さんを殺しさえしなければ。
その償いはするつもりだ。私を殺しても構わない。むしろ私はそれを望む。だから母さんを蘇らせようなどという虚言を信じるな。
そうやって逃げようとするのが一番許せないんだ。
For fuck's sake, now isn't the time for some father-daughter screaming match. I should just leave these two behind. I can go take the cheat code for myself.
今決めた。お前は殺さない。ノア2を破壊して母さんが生き返ってもお前には合わせない。そして一生後悔し続けろ。
どこまでも純粋だな、セナ。感情に突き動かされながら電気仕掛けの世界を願うか。お前は矛盾している。すまない。私がお前をそうさせてしまった。
父親面をするな。今さらそんな顔しても私はお前を認めない。おい、私たちを見ているお前。
Me? I looked toward the ceiling and shouted out.
チートコードの入手方法を教えろ。
Tano-san said nothing more. Light was standing with a sad look on his face. His shoulders sagged. Seems like you finally come to your senses. God's already sent to your world. However, our ability to interfere has finally been inhibited. I'm able to place it where you are now. Just retrieve it. It's in Shibuya Station. Unlock 1009. Need an IC card to unlock it and give payment.
さすが神。
It is already sent to your card. Send us card.
チートコードってどんな形をしてるの？
I don't even know what the cheat code looks like. Whatever item present in your world was taken from the form of unimportant. Once you obtain the code, you'll fulfill the condition the cheat code will activate. For the condition, you must destroy the item it's taken the form of. Target Noah 2 is directly above the coin locker. Found the planetarium near the eastern Shibuya Station. When entering the cheat code, you must destroy the planetarium. For that, everything will fall in place. Pray for your success. But water immediately went black. With only a dull click, the community was gone. Even though we hadn't touched a thing. I was overflowing with excitement. I met God, the person controlling me. The world turned out to be structured in a multi-layered fashion. I was able to talk to someone on a higher layer and get a real-life cheat code. And say farewell to my shitty life forever. Become invincible. Nobody able to scare me anymore. Shogun, you, and Nozomi Technology would no longer be my enemies. I won at life. I went head for Shibuya Station immediately. I got my hands on the cheat code as soon as possible. Despite that, Senna continued to waste time. I just pointed directly at Tano-san, her head hung low.
セナ、行かないの？
Senna hearing I called out a small sigh and lowered her sword. Not so much as a glance at Hatano-san, she walked straight past me, and she casually swung her D-sword. That the rubble blocking her path was clearly dispersed.
行こう。
Spoke in a subdued voice, one that was far removed from the rage she had been showing just a moment prior. Let's get this damn cheat code. Atanuse watched his daughter and Takumi leave until they fell out of sight. Once they took a seat in the middle of the rubble. He talked with God for just a moment longer. He became the last remaining person in the room. He said those words into the air. Daughter Senna looked just like she had something to tell him. Instead, she'd simply thrown a sharp glare his way, only to click her tongue and turn her head away and leave without saying a word. Nothing had escaped Atano's lips either.
300人委員会まだ見ているのか。
He faced the sound of pitch black monitor and called out to it. There was no response for a while, leaving Atano to continue to empty at the monitor. Eventually, the screen roared back to life, displaying the chat login from before. Yes. This one's with a Y, meaning yes.
なぜセナと西条匠なんだ。
Shibuya's current state, did you give them any license?
300人委員会
Highest likelihood of establishing contact with.
こちらの世界はどのような定義なのか。ゲームか実験場か牧場か。
World Human Domestication Project is merely a delusion born of certain selection of conspiracy theorists. Do not directly intervene with your world. Worldwide Human Domestication, a term that would find its way into any discussion about the famous Committee of 300 conspiracy. Those who know the conspiracy speculate that the Committee of 300 means to establish one world government, unify the world, and once they do, they shall guide the world to the creation of a new world order. From a selection of chosen people, all of humanity will be subjected to semi-permanent brainwashing applied in a silent weapon. Turn them into mindless slaves, just like livestock. Flesh, milk, labor, children, and very lives shall endlessly be sold away by the elite. To be realized, the humanity's... Should this be realized, it would be perhaps humanity's cruelest, most systematic utopia of all. That's Alex Jones. Unknowingly having the will stolen from them and being automated as livestock. The remains of humanity would be constantly exploited, all while continuing to live their lives of blissful ignorance. I can't do this way, it hurts my throat. There's no way to, no other exploitation, and never raise any objections, nor bill against the circumstances.
世界人間牧場計画が妄想だとしても、沈黙の兵器は妄想ではない。現にノア2が存在している。
This is my current error. Airborne for Takumi and Genichi.
そして世界は
Doing the best
再
efforts to fixing the error.
びお前たちの秩序のもとに置かれるのか。無自覚の奴隷としてお前たちに搾取され続けるのか。
Sound of smoke, a horrifying possibility sent from his own words, came to him and his brow furrowed.
世界人間牧場計画はすでに完了している。
It was an interesting concept. That's the right way to put it. From the viewpoint of God, you were already livestock to the
最
moment of
初
the
の
world's
質問
conception.
に答えろ。300人委員会にとってこちらの世界はゲームなのか実験場なのか牧場なのか。
Towards Tartano, they fell silent. Time has come.
時間とは何のことだ。
Anyone must remain a shadow. I think speaking of his there is you know too much, he must be disposed of. Anyone knows too much, he must be disposed of. Much like Inohana Kuromochi.
まさか瀬名や西条匠も。
We became pawns the moment we established contact. Pawns for the world, they were given nothing more. No, they're gonna kill us. Wonder he went black. It was different from a death sentence.
瀬名。
Rubbing his teeth down on his lip, Hatano frantically stood up. If he left now, perhaps he'd still be able to catch the two of them before they reached Shibuya Station. He had told him that was a trap. He didn't want to let his daughter die. Then his wife and his second daughter. The only family she was the only family he had left. No matter how much hatred she held for him, all he wanted was her to live. This was the reason Hatano ran. Yet in the end, he was not able to escape the Nozomi Technology Building. Before he could, the sound of explosion combined with a fierce vibration ripped through the building. It did not collapse into an earthquake, however. The sound alone told him it was by the hand of a man. And knowing this did not change his fate, the ground beneath his feet collapsed, and as if the lid lifted off the cauldron of hell itself, the earth opened wide and swallowed up the insignificant existence that was Hatano Issei. Going on a walk through Shibuya finally helped things sink in. Finally coming to terms with how horrifying the earthquake hit the city truly was. No single trace of the once dazzling city remained. The city was dead. Shibuya was now a city of death. Countless unmoving bodies littered the streets, some lying low and others piled on top of others. Various sections of the main road were deeply stained with pools of blood. Nothing was alive. Everyone was dead. Everyone! Hatano said something earlier about the casualties being in the thousands. The sole cause of all the suffering was Noah too. This was a natural disaster. It was any kind of disaster at all. It was an atrocity, a massacre. Senna was just a few steps ahead of me, and an intense look of sorrow on her face. Hatano hadn't come with us. Left him behind at the Nozomi Technology Building. My father and daughter, apparently. They didn't really act like it. I felt like Senna had some sort of one-sided intense hatred towards her father. They mentioned Senna's mother and younger sister during the conversation. What happened between the two of them? Whatever it was, it must have been what had led Senna's heart and mind being broken. Me wondering that. I didn't plan on asking for some detailed account of what happened or anything. Well, then I knew how to in the first place. Besides, our number one priority at the moment was obtaining the cheat code. Once we had that, we wouldn't need Senna to protect me anymore. I would live on my own. Suddenly a rumbling sound came from behind me. I think it was another earthquake. I immediately got down on my hands and knees. The ground itself wasn't what was shaking. I slowly and cautiously looked behind me, toward where the Nozomi main office, where we were just should have been standing. Smoke was pouring into the sky, like the end result of an erupting volcano. And the building that should have been there wasn't there. Oh god, it had collapsed, but Hatano-san was still in there. This is the preseason. He's dead. A small whimper escapes Senna's lips. She looks up at the smoke filling the sky in a daze.
父さん
The moment she noticed my gaze, quickly turned the other way. However, her shoulders continued to tremble.
こんなことなら私がこの手で殺しておくんだって
I'm gonna kill him myself.
殺しておけば
だったらあの人も生き返らせればいい。
We'll have the cheat code. Got our hands on the cheat code. We could do that. No reason we couldn't, as long as we believed in what the thing said.
殺すために生き返らせるのか非効率的だな
Just might work. And laughed to herself, but her voice was muffled by her tears. I didn't really know what to say to her, so I just hung my head. I felt back her tears for a while, but eventually, she made up her mind about something. She started moving forward once again. Now, not a single tear remained on her face. I hurriedly followed after her. Underground Shibuya Station was home to both the Hanzomon line and the newly constructed Ukutoshin line. A far more complicated structure to it. There's also a Ginza line platform located 2 floors above ground, but it was still treated as a subway service. Pretty much anyone, they tell you the place is pretty much a dungeon. Not only that, but the earthquake had caused all stairways leading underground to collapse, and they were all buried in rubble. And had been able to use their diesel to blast away the rubble and clear a path for us. That posed much of a problem, but due to lack of proper lighting, finding the right corn locker had been taking a lot more time than expected. That weren't enough. Air filtration system had stopped, leaving the air disgusting and filled with dust. Coughing refused to stop, to the point where I felt like I was going to die. Stench of death wafting up off the scattered corpses didn't help either.
これか
Then I finally located the coin locker, which is somehow standing tall with no signs of any noticeable damage. Astonishment and subsequent relief, the locker still had power running to it, something that was made clear by the bright glow of the IC card reader. Please make a selection was displayed on the screen. Retrieve and deposit were the only 2 buttons available.
本当にこんな何の変哲もないロッカーにチートコードが置いてあるのか
Locker had been there since before the earthquake. A bunch of customers would have passed through right before us. On a normal day, no one would have paid it any mind. That's how many people actually use the lockers like this in the first place. I couldn't imagine there'd be that many. Upon a closer inspection, it occurred to me that almost all the lockers were buried in rubble. And that single closed door was something beyond imagination. Urban legends like that had been floating around for decades. It wasn't especially strange or anything like that. It's fairly grounded in reality, actually. A little container that you could find very easily throughout your ordinary life houses something extraordinary. That was the idea behind it. I pushed the retrieve button and a message popped up saying, "Please scan your card."
箱の中に残っているのは希望かあるいは絶望か
I dug out her IC card from her pocket and slowly approached the screen. An electronic beep, the sound of a lock releasing came from the door, then echoed ominously throughout the dead silent underground. I stood anchored to the spot. Then we both checked our surroundings. Last come face to face with the cheat code. What would it take? Neither of us knew. Still let it be something gross, something gory. First, if I had a choice, I wanted to be a Seroton figure. Yeah, that'd be the best possible outcome. Then I wiped off the sweat beading on her brow.
1009番だったな
We opened the wrong one, no! The locker we looked at was the second one from the left, third from the top. The door was fairly big, it had 1009 written on it. The locker was ever so slightly ajar. We could see inside the slight gap was uncertain, unending darkness. Then I stared at the locker frozen in place. You open it. Even though she didn't say it out loud, I could feel Seroton telling me that. Granted, I was doing the same thing, so we both equally cowardly. Come on, you did it. I told her inside my head. Jesus. I thought about letting a game of rock, paper, scissors make the decision for us, but I wasn't about to time to mess around like that.
セナが
She opened what I was going to say, but I was interrupted.
開けろ西条
I took a step back and readied her sword.
もしもの場合は私が援護する
The hell do you mean, just in case?
急げ
I still feel like she was going to stick me in tip for sure any second now. My throat went dry from the anxiety, but recently unearthed hope and resurfaced once again. If I surpass this trial, I could become a hero. With this adage etched on my heart, I summoned all my remaining courage. Placed my hand on the half-open locker door.
開けるよ
God, this is so drawn out.
ああ
I slowly opened the door. Opened easier than I expected. And inside I found... No, what is that?
なんだこれは。
And I peeked into the locker and lost for words. A white bundle of cloth. It was bigger than I expected. But when I reached out to touch it... No! I pulled my hand back in a panic. The sudden voice... It's just like in that Yakuza game, or Like a Dragon. There's no way it's...
赤ちゃん。
My baby had been in the locker? I mean, it had been decades since that, but abandoned children found in coin lockers have been a fairly large social issue at one point, but for it to be happening now? Wait, that didn't matter right now. What was the cheat code? Double check the locker number. It was 1009, so that must have meant... Then gently picked it up as it continued to wail, handed like a fragile object that would fall to pieces if she let go of it. Baby's cries grew louder and louder. Sudden grumps as her body stiffened and locked in place. He looked at me with pleading eyes.
西条、助けろ。どうしたらいいんだ。
Why ask me? You should let it suck your tits, huh?
死ね。
A glare pierced through me. Did you overheard my delusion just now?
多分この赤ちゃんがチートコードだよ。
And if you thought about what they said... Okay, good. Read that again. If it was a cheat code, it wouldn't activate unless we destroyed it. Right, in other words, kill it. I went silent, and Senna's glared daggers at me. She held the baby with her arms.
できない。できるわけないだろう。あの地震をこんな暗くて狭い
You
場所
need
で
the cheat code.
たった一
Get
人
out
で
of
生
the
き延び
way.
たんだぞ。
それはチートコードだよ。地震が起きた後にここに現れたんだ。それは人間じゃない。そう見えてるだけで。
あの自称300人委員会の言葉を信じればな。もし違ったら、あるいはもともとここに置き去りにされていたこの子に後からチートコードだけを埋め込んだかもしれないんだぞ。
What? Howard at Senna's horrifically menacing look, even so I frantically shot back my rebuttal without looking in her eye.
だってしょうがないじゃないか。それを壊さないとチートが。
I lost the Senna here. I ended up losing the cheat code. I stayed talking freak for the rest of my miserable life.
この子に触ってみろ西条。この子のぬくもりを感じてみろ。こんな小さい子、お前は殺せるのか？
Of course I can't. It's harmless. You need to do it, Senna. I didn't actually say any of that.
セナは矛盾してる。ここに来るまではやる気満々だったじゃないか。世界は電気仕掛けなんでしょ。だったらその子も単なる人形だ。
でも泣いてる。
Senna gently embraced the baby. And such a tender and loving expression on her face. I couldn't believe she was the same ill-tempered girl from before.
この子今泣いてるんだ西条。
Total mess. Is that just a complete fucking schizo all along?
チートを発動させてノア2を壊さなきゃ君の家族だって生き返らないぞ。なんでためらうんだよ。
この子は生きているからだ。殺せない。私には。
だったら自分が殺してあげるっすよ。
No! Not Sua.
Huh?
Oh. Thunderous roar. Not sure what just happened. I reflexively crouched down. And like that, I took a look around me and spotted a single silhouette. Then I said the Fukutishin line ticket gate, gripping something that looked like a gun. They're pointing in our direction. He shot the baby. Then it croaked. Then I looked over at her. I saw her hands covered in blood. But it wasn't hers. It was coming from the baby. She was cradling the white towel the baby was wrapped up in turning crimson.
死んじゃう。私は見殺しに。
Entire body trembled violently.
相変わらず自分の射撃の腕素晴らしすぎっすよね。
Where's the cheat code? Man continued to walk towards us with a casual smile on his face. On his back, the man wore a rucksack that clashed heavily with his suit.
こんなところで何の相談してるんすか？っていうかその赤ん坊なんなんす？もしかしてあれっすか？二人の隠し子できちゃった？最近の高校生はなってないっすね。ま、別にどうでもいいっすけど。自分は君たちを始末しに来たんすよ。ノア2の近くで目障りなことされると困るんで。
Related to Nozomi? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. He was carrying a gun. No, people don't carry a gun. He was gonna kill us. We had to run.
さて、それじゃあまずそっちの危なっかしい通り魔女子高生から始末しましょうかね。
Man raised his gun and pointed directly at Senna, but she didn't react at all. She so clutched the baby, she broke down in sobs. What do I do? I got the cheat code now. What the hell do I do? I should be invincible. Oh, I can protect Senna. If I'm invincible, that can be reckless and stupid and be perfectly fine. What? You lied. What about the cheat code? That does sound like the stupidest thing ever. I shielded Senna. A fierce pain exploded in my chest, followed by burning heat that felt like I'd caught on fire. My uniform was stained in blood. I'd been shot.
おーっとかっこいいっすね、西条匠くん。身を挺して女を守るなんて男の鏡っす。でも、それもいつまで持つかな。
No. He's unloading a clip into me. Each time a gunshot ripped through the air, another bullet would open a hole in my body. Blood spattered everywhere. The pain rode in my nerves. And it was still frozen in place, looking at me with tears in her eyes as she cradled the baby. Half the white towel was now covered in a deep shade of red. I couldn't tell if the blood was mine or the baby's.
西条。違う。このままじゃ、
チートコードを
Cheat code.
使って。
Damn it.
私、どうしたら。
Isn't good. He's gonna lose consciousness. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Never has to go through pain like this. With the cheat code, I should be invincible. If Senna isn't activated, I'm gonna die. He's getting close to me. I feel a sense of sinister bloodless overflowing from him. Cold and solid was pushed to my back. I felt like my wounds were being grilled over hot coals and that cold sensation clawed through them.
よく頑張ったっすね。でもこれで終わりっす。この至近距離で心臓をズドンとやれば、さすがのギガロマニアックスでも死亡確定っすから。
セナ、早く。
Cheat code. Basket Senna. Senna only continued to cry. This was it. After all that grinding to get the cheat code, none of it mattered in the end.
くたばれ、クソガキ。
What? No. They showed my back suddenly disappeared. Thought I'd just been shot, but it wasn't a gunshot that I heard. It was the sound of the air itself shaking. Ude.
俺の腕が。
Ude was arm. White feathers shimmered next to the air, but we were underground. There shouldn't have been any birds here. My consciousness turning foggy and the pain ripping through my entire body. I slowly managed to turn around. There I saw... No!
リミ。
タク。
Clasped her hands with a sword, so elegant, so beautifully, and its form was unending any sim started, never seen anything like it. It was Rimi. Rimi, who disappeared on me before, was here. She looked at me with a smile filled with sorrow. A large quantity of blood poured from the man's arm. Everything from the elbow down had been severed. The hand holding the gun rolled around on the ground. Rimi done that?
No,
Rimi killing you again, yeah.
俺の手をよくは。
ナナちゃんにひどいことしたくせに。
リミ。
Rimi avoided my dumbfounded gaze. She simply stood in front of the man, shielding us.
早く外へ。事情は大体理解してるから。ノア2を壊して。葵さん、タク。
You'll know it too. A sharp voice brought me to my senses, but when I tried to move my body even just a little bit, I was tortured by unrelenting pain. I wanted to collapse on the spot. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to think. Most of all, I didn't want to die. My consciousness was fading. I was fully aware of the blood flowing out of my wounds covered my entire body. Despair and the fear of death threatened to overwhelm me, but I fought back and held on to Senna's shoulders.
行こう。今のうちに。
すまない。日常。私をかばって、そんなに血が。
Senna's eyes were clouded with tears. It was the first time I had seen her crying face. I see even level-headed woman like Senna cried sometimes. That's something else as I held her shoulders. Her body was incredibly frail. I wasn't sure that was unique to Senna. It probably applied to all IRL girls, really. But I was slender as well, something the guys also didn't share. In normal days, she exuded an aura of confidence, arrogance, and so much overwhelming vigor. Like she could crush me with it. But at the end of the day, she really was just still a girl. Alright, don't cry, Senna. If you use a cheat code, you know his wounds in an instant and has to. Leaving that grit my teeth and walked forward. I heard the sound of a strange mechanical sound and a shrieking resonance in time with one another. I refused to look back anymore. Oh. Made it above ground. A chill of blood marked the path we walked. I lost a lot of blood. Intense heat had been feeling my wounds had replaced with an unbearable chill. The helmet tried to keep it under control. My body kept violently shivering. My teeth wouldn't stop shattering. I saw the planetarium standing before us. Before I did, I realized something was off. The surrounding buildings had almost entirely collapsed, but the ones that were still standing were covered with cracks and fissures. Yet the planetarium was completely intact. Not only that, but I thought the building was supposed to have been demolished years ago. It still stood tall in front of me. Why? Why didn't I realize it until now? Why didn't I question it earlier? Because some Gigalomaniac's powers? Was it Noah 2's doing? At any rate, the reason I noticed must have been because of the cheat code. Now we should need to activate it. Now we should be able to destroy the planetarium. Let me support her any longer. Senna fell to her knees. She was still heartbroken.
セーナ。チート。使うんだ。
And talking was agonized now. Senna looked back and forth before me, the baby looking. She was shaking her head no. But all she did was tremble. Ran out of time. My vision was going blurry. If we didn't activate the cheat code, I was going to die.
日常、しっかりしろ。こんなのって死なないで。お願いだから。なあ、日常。世界は天気仕掛けなんかじゃないんだ。私はただ思い込みたかっただけ。母さんと妹を見殺しにしかできなかった自
So
分
there's
が
no cheat code?
許せな
What are
く
you saying?
気持ち悪いと吐いてしまった自分が許せなくて。二人が死んだのも父さんがあんなことしたのも全部信じたくなくて、感情だって捨て去りたくて。だけどダメなんだ。どうやったって父さんを憎んでしまうし、母さんや妹の死んだことが悲しいし、自分が許せないし、この子死なせたくないんだ。
Damn it. Couldn't rely on Senna anymore. I had to do it all on my own somehow. I reached out my hand to the blood-stained baby Senna was cradling.
貸して。それを。
Senna refused to let go.
ダメだ、日常、やめろ。
もう死んでるよ。
Taking charge, I wrestled Senna's hands away. She looked at me in horror and forcefully grabbed the baby. I broke down crying, ignoring her as I clutched the baby. Cheat code activate, lend me your power. Oh my god. The baby was my D-sword? And I noticed it. A strange color, shrouded in faint light. Shining sword was lying on my feet. The D-sword. You know about the pain I took hold of it. It had been so long and gigantic, it was shockingly light. It's almost like I was holding nothing but thin air. I knew for sure. This was a real D-sword, it was no fake. That damn cheat code. Thankfully I got my hands on a D-sword this easily after struggling to get one for so long. Sending all my remaining energy, I stood up. My wounds weren't unhealed, but I was invincible now. Wounds of magic took a minute to heal, that's all. That was utterly useless now. I'll just try to know it to myself. The power flowed from deep within, from the very core of my body. There was nothing that I could do. I turned the power rivaling the god of himself. I banished my sword. My trunk with the planetarium, illuminated ominously by the surrounding light.
壊してやる。
This one still sucks.
これで終わりに。
Awadi. No! Gunshot through the air, blood spewed from my chest. Soon after I was hit with intense pain. The moment I stopped breathing, my vision went black, an awful feeling writhed in the depths of my throat, and the taste of blood spread through my mouth as I coughed violently. What? I got the new sword and was shot immediately? This kinda sucks. Bad timing. The guy from earlier, he shot me again and ripped me field to hold him off? I looked around, maybe absolutely astonished by what I saw. Tons of people, all crowded around me and Senna. They all had dead eyes, they're all holding guns, all aimed at me. Every single one of them was whispering something.
信仰の救いあれ。
No!
信仰の救いあれ。
They're all cult members.
信仰の救いあれ。信仰の救いあれ。信仰の救いあれ。信仰の救いあれ。
セナ、伏せて。
They all fired in unison. Countless head bullets penetrated my body, bored out my flesh, sliced through my bones. Why would I got the D sword too? It was halted by impact after impact. My body danced around like by an order not my own, just like a marionette. Me inside of my conscience, I was gonna pass out.
No.
Even so, I desperately kept standing. My D sword was still raised high, held aloft in one of my hands. I'll destroy it, I prayed. Destroy Noah too. No matter how much you scream my body, I won't die. I can't die. I swung down. The sword drew a trail of red light. A brilliant flash burst into the night sky, and the blade of light tore through the endless night, descended upon the planetarium dome below. They'd be deflected by some unseen force. No, the shields were still up. There could have been some sort of invisible wall. The light emitted by D-sword was reflected, refracted, and dispersed. Silence. Said I mean the people who had been shooting at me were all simply staring dumbfounded. Even if the cheat didn't work, was Noah too indestructible? I'll try it again. Couldn't that end like this? I coughed up blood. Greasy sweat stung at my eyes. I can't really feel the pain anymore. My senses were starting to disappear. My nerves might have been paralyzed. One more swing. I'm strong. I'm the strongest in the world. My strength has to be so high. It should be absolutely OP. I just need one more swing. Raise my sword overhead. After their clip, along with a woman's scream, they fired wildly once again. I covered my body with hers. I guess Senna had saved me this time.
セナ。
私も手伝う。
Uh-oh.
手伝うよ。
Ever so tightly embraced my blood-soaked body. She grasped the hand I held with my D-sword with. And his body was so warm, hell was closer to hot. It had to be the heat of her blood, drawn out by the gunshot wound she'd suffered just now. Heat of the pulse of life that ran through her body.
Oh, お前の覚悟ちゃんと分かったから壊そう。その子のためにも壊そう。
Combine our D-swords together.
二人で力を合わせて
Oh, she knows.
お前だけ死なせない。お前だけ無茶させない。私とお前は運命共同体だ。ずっと一緒だ。死ぬ時も戦う時も一緒だ。もうこんな悲しみの連鎖は止めよう。復活とかそんなのどうでもいい。自然の摂理に反することはするべきじゃない。私は ただもう憎しみも悲しみも見たくないんだ。こんな世界を見たくないんだ。お前が傷つくのも見たくないんだ。だから一緒に壊そう。あの全ての元凶を。
Alright. And his voice rang through my fading consciousness. She finally come to senses, huh? Fully exhausted, covered in tears, she sealed the Mitaka free with me. Now she was covered in blood. We both died deep crimson. I really did feel her passion. Her voice really did reach me. And we raised the D-sword high, as to hear gunshots firing around us. I wouldn't stop us anymore. My power was overflowing more than ever before. With a strong life force gusting out of Senna. This godly power, we would destroy the machine that rivaled God on high. This time for sure we would.
行くぞ西条。
I nodded, together with Senna. We swung the D-sword down with all our strength. No! Wait, right as the flashlight burst forth. Flashlight tore the very world asunder. Red light that ripped the night sky into a red blade that perhaps even might reach even the moon. Blew everything away, turned it all to dust. Together with the invisible barrier starting to know it too. The planetarium was reduced to ashes. Massive impact and shockwave burst through the city. I thought my body was going to be torn apart. People standing before us were blown away. Even so, Tina and I held each other upright, both clutching baby in our arms, shielding it. We used every last drop of power we had left. We didn't think of what would come next. As long as we had the cheat code, our wounds would heal. So right now, all we did was destroy Noah too. All our heart and soul, and let our power erupt. Is it gone? It's anticipated and light along with it. In the center of that ruined city of death, Senna and I stood tall. Senna clung to my body. I leaned against hers, and between us we embraced the bloody baby. Couldn't walk another step. I couldn't make the slightest movement. I didn't have an ounce of strength left.
もういいんだ。
Yay.
悲しいけどもういいんだ。死んだ人を生き返らせるのなんてエゴでしかないから。チートコードは返そう。
But the same way, because we were alive, we had to live on for the sake of those who had died.
ごめん
I softly and gently embraced the bloody baby.
ごめん。死なせてしまってごめん。
I cried a lot today, but compared to the usual girl who glared at everyone and everything, Noah's weakness was on display and I was far more beautiful. Senna's flowing tears were so very beautiful. Those thoughts flowed through my mind. I looked up toward the night sky. Hey, did we die? Can't tell what happened at the end there. That was definitely one of the weirder endings. Senna singing. That was a weird one, yeah. How was it better than the regular season? Even longer. The last one is Remy, right? And then comes supposedly the good ending. The problem with this game is the bad endings are so bad that no way the good ending is going to be good enough to make it, seem okay. Like in Steins Gate, there's only like 4 bad endings, and the good ending was they were pretty bad. But when you have like 7 or 8 like this, it's total overkill. They weren't as bad as this. The endings in this are much worse than the ones in Steins Gate. Steins Gate was pretty dark, but this is like, just like, you know, super depressing. Yeah, the good ending in Steins Gate made it all worth this. The problem, this will have a good ending, I'm sure, because it has to after this, but it's just not gonna, like, this is too bad. There's too much bad stuff. Oh, I still gotta get to it. I mean, of course, we've gone this far. Gotta see the good ending, for God's sakes. At least the different endings for these are, like, way different. They're, like, kind of, you know, they kind of change the plot of the game. I like Steins Gate way more than this one, but I mean, this one's good too. It's a good visual novel. It's just much darker and kind of crazier. I mean, much darker. Steins Gate kind of hinted at things. This game just says directly. This is longer too, yeah. Oh, here we go.
健一の消去も確認したわ。
No. Was Shogun God? No.
オリジナルの西条匠は確保済み。
Who is
虫
this?
の息だけどね。
This is more. That's like Momose. Oh, so the original Takumi is dead.
コピーの西条匠、および畑野瀬名は、予定通り任務を実行後、共に死んだわ。
No, he died. 2 seconds it feels like it, yeah.
今後も引き続き調査は続行するけど、おそらく畑野
Steins
瀬名
Gate I
も
could
西
play
条匠
longer
も
because it was easier to. There was less talking. Or I had to say less. This one, like, your guy doesn't say very much. They have to say a lot of stuff. And Steins Gate, we played Steins Gate Elite, which had movies and stuff, so it's kind of easier to deal with. You're likely to cause any errors? Wait, what?
私の仕事も減ったことだし。
Who are you?
あ、そうそう。ついでに周りをうろちょろしてた天聖信仰会の信者連中も処分しといたから。
Those cultists out.
先畑リミンには逃げられたみたいだけど、まあ、脅威にはならないでしょ。
I know, it sounds like Momose.
世界人間
She
牧
was
場
God?
計画の予定には
It's very strange.
若干の修正が必要ね。
Maybe it's just her voice same voice actress.
でも、今回の一連のエラーは、計画へと利用を還元できると判断するわ。
Hmm.
結果的には、300人委員会に何らの不利益も生じない。了解。デバッガード任務は終了します。
Oh, so she was trying to help. I think Council 300 all along.
監視者の役割に戻るわ。
Yep. She was an agent.
あら、この子、生きてるわね。
About the
エラ
baby
になっ
back.
ちゃうわ。二人が命を与えたのかしら。
Oh.
見なかったことにしますか。私は独身だし、
うん
子供はちょっと苦手なんだけど。ミルクは手に入るかしらね。この渋谷で。
She just leaves the baby behind? Boy, that was a Deus Ex Machina ending. There we go. It's very appropriate. Two more. Just Remi's and then the good one. All right. I don't think I can do it now. I'll do it next time. Endings are kind of intense. Good way to put it. All right. I'll be back for more of this on, let's see, Monday. Man, will we be done on Wednesday? Finally done with this game? Is that actually the plan here? I'll be back for some more wrestling tomorrow. Of course, we have the huge wrestling show tonight. 2 wrestling shows, Tokyo Joshi Pro and Stardom. Definitely join our Discord if you want to watch that with us. And yeah, everybody have a great day or a great weekend. Thanks for hanging around. Same, you got us. Steam here. All right. Yeah, definitely come back for the rest of this on Monday at around 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Where's music? I'm doing that one then. Yeah, and then we have the Discord. We definitely have a lot of stuff to get to tonight. Tokyo Joshi Pro first and then Stardom. Let's find someone to raid. How's it going? It's still online? Okay, good. Let's see, there's a good Pete watching King of the Ring. That's cool. Snowboy watching Wrestling with Shadows. Old school wrestling reviewing TNA. Kira playing Final Fantasy. A lot going on, actually. Trade Snowboy and his... Watching Wrestling with Shadows. Let's do that. How many I's in this name? 4? I always have a problem with this. They should make the names harder to type in. Have a good one, Pink Spike. All right. Everybody definitely have a good weekend. Hope to see you again soon. Say hello, say goodbye.
DJ Etsy, thank you for the raid.